Oh.
All
Mhm.
right. Boom, 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 man. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody, and welcome to the Flip Thought Show. It's your host with the most, King Truth, Benny Bo, the Hosenberg, the one with the word, the one with the flow. And we coming at you live, man, at 8:27. We got a special guest with us right here, man. Mr. Schmackiyante himself, man. You know, the legend, the one. We gonna let you introduce yourself, P.
Shit, Juice Leader, Fresh Prince, San Diego Division, you know what I mean? CEO, you know what I mean? Slash extraordinaire pioneer. You understand that? Doing my greatest hits like always. What's up with Smackiyante?
Shit, man. Just wanna know a little bit about the journey, bro. Like what really made you get into the music?
Gang banging. Gang
Whoop.
banging made me get into music. You feel me? I started on, back in the days when banging on wax was cool. You know what I mean? When
Yeah,
we
yeah,
was first get no fucking platinum record or nothing like that. You know what I mean? We was just making songs for the homies could bump at the party. You know what I mean? We could get some cooter. You know what I mean? We
yeah,
could
yeah. Type shit.
we making shit retaliating from songs that's made about us. So that's really what happened. You feel me? I was a troublemaker. Some people was making songs, you know what I mean, about me and my friends, and so we retaliated and made songs back.
Type shit. Type shit. Like yeah, that goes with the banging on wax type of error. What was going on
Yeah,
at that time? Type
yeah.
shit.
And then shit, but the thing about it, this shit just took off. That's the only difference.
No, hell yeah, hell yeah.
People start
Would you?
liking that bullshit. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
hell
And it went bigger than it was bigger than the hood. It
yeah.
went
No,
it went
that
bigger
shit
than that.
went global. That shit
Right.
went global. Yeah, that shit bracked off. It went global. It went everywhere for sure.
For sure.
Um, what I was gonna say was too. How do you think it is right now? Like for like the ism wave right now, bro. Like I see a lot of people coming up with that right now. Like coming up in that. Not saying that wasn't always there, but it seemed like it got a lot bigger throughout the years, though.
Yeah, the internet can always make anything, you know what I mean, bigger than what it is. The iPhone, you know what I mean, when you have to, you know what I mean, they brought it in your hands, you feel me? It's gonna make everything more accessible. It more, you had host got a platform, you know what I mean? Renegades
Hmm.
got a platform. Used to had to shut the fuck up and, you know what I mean, and sit in your room, bitch. Now they got a platform to renegade and say all type of propaganda fag shit, you know what I mean? And haja shudder, but as much as shit that then, you know what I mean, you can say was wrong in the game, you can say there's good in the game. There's, it's like the game is better than ever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Definitely got more of a spotlight on it for sure.
Yeah, it's ways better than ever. Everybody's doing their greatest hits. It used to be a secret society, a underground organized,
Hmm. Yeah.
organization where, you know what I mean, it was elite members and things like that. You know what I mean? And now this shit done with mainstream.
Yeah, for sure. Mainstream, for sure, for sure.
And
Okay,
everybody
so
breaks the vibe is gonna have to go back underground like the mob. The mobs stayed alive so long because it was underground and they didn't know how to infiltrate it. You know what I mean? Once they learned all the mob secrets, it started to, you know what I mean, fuck up and stuff. And now the mobs still around. It's just they 100% legit. You know what I mean? So in order for them
hmm
to stay alive, we're gonna have to go back into a cult.
yeah, that's why they started doing stuff like, opening up the casinos and other things like that to like kind of play a different part so they could do
Watch their
everything in the
best.
background under the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, they did a lot of shit. Casinos was majority of the but high percentage of the money, but they did a lot of construction shit. You know what I mean, and all types
Hmm.
of legitimate other business. You know what I mean, like with the union laborers and shit like that. They did a lot of legitimate shit that, you know what I mean. They legitimized they you know what I mean, their gangsterism. You know what I mean, and that's what you're gonna have to do for this pimping because even back then you had motherfuckers the P's in the '70s and '60s. They was buying massage parlors. They was buying strip clubs. They was buying, you know what I mean, shit that the bitch. You can watch the old movies, the Max and all that shit. You know what I mean. The pimpin' went to go buy him a strip club. You know what I mean. And pimpin' had him a massage parlor and shit, things like that. You know what I mean. So it's gonna have to be a way where you're gonna have to, make a website or whatever you're gonna do to keep this shit going and flowing. You know what I mean. But you gotta legitimize this shit.
Pimping got to pimp itself. So
You gotta
Uh,
prostitute the dollar. You gotta
nah,
send. You
for sure,
gotta
for
make the
sure.
dollar your bitch, and you gotta send the dollar and make it work for you.
Nah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it just, that's what I was gonna say, bro. It just went way more mainstream. Like you said, it used to be something that was in the back. You feel me? Behind the scenes, high elite people, like more like a secret society. Now it's like more thrown in your face. Like like I'm saying, like not saying that they on some ism with these
Everybody
new
back then.
shows and shit, but it's everywhere. It's
You couldn't
everywhere.
be a pimpin' back then if you didn't tap in with the pimpin'. You had to check in with pimpin'. You couldn't just say you was pimpin'. You had to check in with the pimpin', and pimpin' had to be like, he doing some pimpin'. You know what I mean? Where you at, P? Come pull up, man. Let's see what's going on. And then you be like, okay,
Hmm.
right, doing some pimpin'. And then they was allowed to be in the society. They wasn't allowed to come around us, you know what I mean, and be at the same hotels and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hell yeah.
Where
I
you was
remember. I
at.
remember when. I remember when you had to really get chopped up in the circle type
You
shit. You got to
getting
get.
chopped up the fuck up. Well, you go just to be around, you're gonna have about 3, 4 pimps off, you know what I mean, before a motherfucker, you
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Well,
saying. Yeah, for sure.
respect when you cross country pimping that you leave your territory. Because when you a local joker, you made it big in your city. Then when you start leaving out, you got to brand yourself all over it.
Nah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, they
Like,
heard about you being the shit sits you from your biddy. So they want to see that shit for real. They want to hear it. They want to see about that little shit. Whatever you claim to, whatever you got a reputation for, you out here knocking shit down. You out here pimp hoes. When niggas see you OT, they want to see about that little shit. You know what I mean? If you known for doing
hmm
gang drugs, you feel me? They want, you know what I mean? Whatever you do, you know what I mean? They want to see that little shit. And they gonna test it. You claim you pimping, you know what I mean? They gonna see about that little shit.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure, for sure. Do you feel like the digital pivot kind of messed stuff up, like with the OnlyFans shit and all the net shit?
Nah, I made it more accessible for scarios. Cause some bitches
Okay.
wouldn't get down because you know what I mean. The nigga didn't have enough game to set her down. You know what I mean, and put her on the track. You know what I mean. But then these bitches got, you know what I mean. It got to where it was simpler. Bitch, you ain't gotta do nothing. Check this out. You on MySpace, bitch? Okay, check this out. Take that little picture on MySpace. Oh, you know we gonna copy that. You know what I mean? Boom, boom. Drag it over. Upload it to this site of Craigslist,
Hmm.
and boom, the bitch was down in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Five
no,
minutes,
for sure.
she's down and her phone was ringing. You know what I mean? Boom. You know what I mean? She got motherfuckers pulling up. You know what I mean? Within an hour.
No, yeah, no, for sure. It definitely,
A
definitely
lot
made
of
it more
scary hoes
accessible.
that didn't want to do it. That was on, let's say, you know what I mean? Oh, I don't want to see my mom see me do it. Da, 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 and
Hmm.
shit. Start using fake pictures, you know what I mean? And post it on Craigslist. We wouldn't even know the girl was next door was selling some butt. You know what I mean? She get in there like a motherfucker, you know what I mean? She got a fake phone, she got a fake picture, you know what I mean? She's doing her greatest hits.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely a lot of people.
The hope was to be able to run off, and she couldn't run off because what she gonna do? She had to go to the track in order to get back down. So you gonna know where to find your hoe at, you know what I mean? So the bitch wasn't going nowhere, you know what I mean? So you could add action back at the bitch, you know what I mean? If a nigga set her down, you know what I mean? You had to set the bitch back down. You had action at the bitch. When the internet came, now the bitch can run off, change your number,
Yeah.
take picture, and hide from the pimp and be gone. Back in the days, hoe couldn't do none of that. It wasn't no hoe say you know whole freedom. Bitch couldn't go nowhere. Bitch had to go right back to that track and get sweated by her folks, get sweated by them. You know what I mean? Wasn't no renegade niggas
Hmm.
getting there's always been some renegading and sneaking going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, for
Okay,
sure,
you
for sure.
know, it allowed more renegading because it took the you know what I mean? It took shit out the you know what I mean, the video.
Yeah, because you see toes now like trying to run the program by themselves though. Now, like that's the shit that's kind of
Oh,
weird to
yeah,
me.
try
Like,
to run a program by themselves, man. Act why they have fucking renegades in the 60s and 70s. Hoes been doing that greatest hits. Hoes been that is not nothing new. You feel me? Hoes is always gonna have, like I said, the elite members. You feel me? Niggas that's really imping. Then you're gonna have niggas that's, you know what I mean, grilling. And then you have niggas that's, you know what I mean, doing all types of shit. You know what I mean? Making deals. You know what I mean? Boyfriending and da 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 da. You know what I mean? And when it
yeah,
comes to the
yeah. No, I
when
hear
it
you.
comes to they got it twisted nowadays, you know, feel me? It ain't with the boyfriend pimps and da 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 da, and with not knowing that the original pimps and stuff like that. These niggas had jobs and shit and some more shit. They used to go to work, you know what I mean, and come home and some more shit. They was married, they had kids, it was a family, you know what I mean. The bitch was a hoe, you know what I mean. It went down, you know what I mean. I know, you know what I mean. My motherfucking, you know what I mean. Pops is some pimping, you know what I mean. My motherfucking grandpa is some pimping. Like I know how
Hmm.
it goes.
Yeah,
Niggas have full stables, you know what I mean. They didn't. It was never, you know what I mean, like in front of the kids and shit, you know what I mean? He was like, okay, that's daddy's girlfriend. You know what I mean? He didn't ever talk crazy in front of the kids and say
hmm,
pimping and da 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 da
yeah.
da. You know what I mean? I didn't know what it was until I started pimping. Like, oh shit, this nigga pimping like a motherfucker. Oh, Pops is your bottom hoe? My Pops had a bottom bitch for 30, 40 years. I thought it was his girlfriend the whole time. They lived on Elkhorn Boulevard. You know what I mean? I'm green and a motherfucker. I'm not knowing.
Right on the track. That's crazy.
He live right. His bottom bitch live right on the track. You know what I mean? First she'd go outside, do her little shit, she'd leave and da da da. Not knowing, you know what I mean? She was doing her greatest hits,
Yeah.
but she was walking to the store. You know what I mean? The bitch was walking to the store to get a drink. She went to go get a date. It was
And
big. It was big.
you would never know. That's big though, because that's like that's so solid though. That's a solid ass
But
program.
the rate
But
is different back in the days. The game was just different. You treat anything you do with a girlfriend, you could do with a hoe except kill yourself if she leave. It was all right to treat your wife good, treat the bitch good, you know what I mean? Do regular normal shit, you know what I mean? Pimping was normal, you know what I mean? They made it, you know what I mean? It try to make it like, oh, this is some crazy wild
hmm,
act shit, you know what I
they
mean?
try
But
to outcast it. They try to outcast it. For sure.
forever. You know what I mean? Pips and hoes was like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's in the black community. It was like that was in every black community. Everybody cousin, mom or something was a hoe. You gotta understand after slavery, it wasn't no jobs for black Americans. You feel me? The first 5 millionaires, the first black 5 millionaires is fucking three of them is females, and out of them three females, two of them was prostitutes. And these are the first five black millionaires, you know what I mean? History. You feel me? Three of them was
Yeah.
prostitutes. Three
Yeah.
of them were prostitutes. It wasn't no jobs after motherfucking slavery,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But it was some
Yeah.
pussy, oh, and it was going down like a motherfucker, you know what I mean? And them hoes did their greatest hits, you feel me? And they did their dates and shit like that, you know what I mean? You had slaves, masters, you know what I mean? That sold some of their hope, you know what I mean? Some of their slaves, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Had them selling their twat and stuff like that. You had slave masters that was selling cock, you know what I mean? From the motherfucking from the bitches in the plantation, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Like shit.
And
Mhm.
that's where, you know what I mean, motherfuckers low key, you know what I mean, got the little, y'all don't know, feel me? Like, okay, game, recognized game. We just kept the shit going when they let us go. But yeah, this shit been around, bro. You feel me? And it's just, you know, the game's always gonna be around and it ain't gonna get fucked up, you know what I mean, in my generation. You know what I mean? The game been around for 1,000 years. And when my generation come up, you think they gonna change the rules and fuck this shit up? Nah, we gonna keep this shit pimping. We gonna keep this shit down. Rules still gonna motherfucking apply, you know what I mean? And bitches gonna sell thighs, you know what I mean? And keep their motherfucking eyes, you know what I mean, to their motherfucking heels. You know what I mean? For real. You know, and but that's when I was in my little era and, doing my little greatest hits, you know what I mean, coming up. That's how I felt, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck that, you know what I mean? We gonna do our greatest hits, you know what I mean? This shit been around. It got a long, you know what I mean? I got some game from older motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And I made it relevant in my era, you know what I mean? And reintroduce it, you know what I mean? Cause that's only how you gonna get game, by getting it passed down, you know what I mean? Not from a book, but passed down from generations to generations. Like I said, it was written in the stone, secret society.
Nah, yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So it goes back. It goes back years and years and years. But like, do you feel like throughout the years it has changed though, just in certain ways?
Yeah, it changed better. You know what I mean? It always it leaves, come back, leaves and come back, leaves and come back. Like it always. I remember that you used to be able to have hoes butt booty naked. You know what I mean? Down about it
Hmm.
back in the days. You feel me? And then it slowed up when it came into the 2000s. You had to like make it your bitch seem like she's walking into her friend house down the street. You know what I mean? And grabbing her. You know what I mean? Grabbing you got to make it. She can't be too hold up. You know what I mean? Now bitch
Yeah.
should be fishing that up, butt booty naked. You know what I mean? On every track in the motherfucking country. You know what I mean? Cracking like a motherfucker. 50 hoes to 100 hoes out there boom laid on the headset doing their greatest hits.
Nah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Nah, for sure. What made you want to get into the acting lane and start doing the show,
As in like the movies and shit like that for
movies,
the
and that,
documentaries.
yeah, in the documentaries and stuff like that?
Life after yipping. Life after yipping, brokered in a bag of glass out the fish, didn't have no Cheetos, you know what I mean? The motherfuckers all
Hmm.
on my video, you know what I mean? Trying to violate me for every single little thing. I really can't do my greatest hits because they in my video. And then it's like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to like relapse and go back in, you know what I mean? And boom laid on
Yeah.
the head then. But I knew a lot of individuals, you know what I mean? And Haja Haja, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, okay, this is what we gonna do. You know what I mean? And I see the little, lane that wasn't fulfilled. You know what I mean? Before I got
Yeah.
locked up, I started my own subgenre called Pimp Hop. You know what I mean? Boom, I had a boom laid on the headset. I was like, they got trap music, nigga, we need our own shit, nigga. We gonna call it Pimp Hop, nigga. I've been first with the coined the word Pimp Hop, nigga. Had all the P's pushing it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I've been doing this for a minute.
Mm-hmm. So,
I've been rapping
so
before Silky Slim. You know what I mean? Or Sideways Entertainment. You know, be sugar free. You
yeah,
know,
that's what I was gonna say. The sideways entertainment. That's when I first found out about you. I was like maybe like 11 and shit.
yeah, so niggas was like, doing their greatest hits. Nigga, first to hear some pimp hop, you know what I mean? I'm doing songs with Mac Dre and Sugar Free. We don't got a category, what we calling it. We just rapping, pimping on this record, you know what I mean? Y'all don't feel me, you know what I mean? Gangsta, you know? So then I was like, we gonna call it pimp hop. Boom, pushed it, gets locked up, get out. The pimp hop wave did been, I'm like, okay, kind of took off while I was locked up. Okay, now let's keep this shit going. It ain't mainstream like it's supposed to be. So what I chose to do, I said, I'm gonna make a documentary about this subgenre pimp hop, you know what I mean, and about our music scene and shit like that, you know what I mean, and let's get us to the mainstream where we can get signed to record labels and shit like that, you know what I mean. You got a thousand of trap rappers that never sold drugs in their life. You got drill rappers that never shot a gun, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You
For
got pimp
sure.
hop, you know what I mean? You got these niggas, you know what I mean, just rap pimping, you know what I mean? That niggas ain't got no hoes or nothing like that, you know what I mean? Niggas ain't out here. We just niggas just rappers, you know what I mean? And it just
Yeah.
sound good. So, I mean, you got a lot of them. You got like KT, motherfucking Yabi, Gax. These niggas ain't really pimping. They just rap about this shit and it sound good,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Not for sure. Yeah. I mean, like
So and now
it.
and there's a genre for that shit. You know what I mean? And there's millions of motherfuckers listening to it and it's making money. So it's like, let's take this shit to the mainstream. You feel me? Let's get this
Yeah.
shit really cool, man.
Yeah. No, for sure. That shit's going up. That's why I said that wave. that pimp hop wave right now is definitely going up. You know what I'm saying? You see all the pro people, all the pros and stuff, the people in Vegas popping this shit, y'all being all them, but it's definitely going up for sure.
They
But like I
popping,
feel like
they poppers doing their greatest hits. You know what I mean? Y'all know who started this shit.
I
Gangsta.
definitely feel like y'all are the pioneers though. You feel me? You you know, sugar free, like and I mean everybody out at the biddy too, like
Start right
uh
to the face, man.
every, everybody out the biddy too that was you know popping like all the sideways entertainment people, you know, they're the
And
pioneers for
so
that too.
we got this shit booming on a headstand. I'm talking about nigga my hood turned out the whole motherfucking Southeast San Diego. My big homie from the set nigga named Too Much to Pimp. You know what I mean? Everybody know who Too Much to Pimp is. You know what I mean? Big old motherfucking pimp. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Had the white hoes and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's back in the days. You know what I mean? Don't get it fucked up. Niggas was selling hoes on Rosecrans. You know what I mean? In San Diego in the late 80s and shit. You had California Mike. You had Nate the Great. You know what I mean? And then you had
Hmm.
nigga name Too Much to Pimp. You know what I mean? From my side, you had me. You had Nate the Great from Emerald. You had California Mike. He was a coaster. You know, but you know niggas didn't bang like that. You know what I mean? Was it
Hmm.
different shit? You feel me?
I feel like the East really always came with the ism though. We
Yeah, we
there's a lot
nigga.
of people.
It was gang bang rapping, and niggas was trying to sound like L.A. And all that weird shit. You know what I mean? Clack clack and all that. You know what I mean? When I started rapping, niggas was like I said was on some gangster shit. You know what I mean? Niggas flipped this shit. You know what I mean? They got on some player shit. You know what I mean? Fucking with our niggas from the Bay and shit like that. You know what I mean? We got real player with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that was always already like you feel me, already right there in the equation though. Like, not saying that every other section in the Southeast didn't have somebody that was popping some
Man, we
ism, but
laced up everybody. When they seen Juice Lee the Pimp, I'm talking about I meet like Too Much to Pimp, you know what I mean? He helped, you know, he was out there doing his greatest hits. That's why, you know what I mean? That's what, you know what I mean? My big homie from my body, yo, and shit like that, who grazing, how I seen him do their greatest hits, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Me start rapping, doing my greatest hits, man. I done turned out motherfucking more pimps and hoes, nigga, than man, get the fuck out of here. Just with music alone. I'm America's Most Wanted. My crime was having influence, making millions of people want to do it. You know what I mean? They says my music's turning out and they say I was glamorizing the lifestyle, making millions of females and dudes want to
mhm,
enter the lifestyle. You feel me? And that's
yeah.
what my charge was: America's Most Wanted, not for pimping, but for glamorizing the lifestyle. You feel me?
So it's safe
Making
to
my
say they
money.
were intrigued by the lifestyle, so they were blaming you for you getting them intrigued by the lifestyle, basically.
I'm over here popping Percocets. I'm over here doing Xanax. I'm over nigga fuck the opium pandemic, nigga. I got this shit popping off on the West Coast. They was doing the opiums down south because they didn't have good drugs, so they was doing perks and shit like that. You feel me? Because they didn't have good weed. You feel me?
Yeah.
So they had to supplement it with coke and shit like that. Me being a pimp, I traveled a lot. Blah 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 blah. So you know I get on to all types of shit. But I get shot back in the days from gangbanging. You feel me? My sister gives me a bike and you feel me? I'm fucked up. So
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
2 weeks, I'm taking these bikes, and then when she stops giving it to me, I start crying. Nigga, I'm shot. Nigga, in the leg, I still got the scar on the side of my leg, a whole right side of my life. Man, anyway, make a long story short story in. Boom. So I get addicted to the Vikings. I'm popping them shits. I'm popping them shits. You feel me? And I'm hearing about Anna Nicole and shit like that. She just overdosed on some
Hmm.
Xanax.
Yeah.
Son overdose. Then she overdosed. I said, damn, I gotta try that shit. Now I'm popping Xanax. You know what I mean? I'm doing nigga Michael Jackson. Damn, he just overdosed. Need me to try some of that shit too. You know what I mean? What's going on? Like the pills. You know what I mean? They been like the celebrities, actors,
Yeah.
Prince, Spidey be behind the scenes. They been popping pills. Da da da.
Yeah.
It
I
just was
remember when people just
changed.
started dropping the pills in they bow and shit. That was a
It was
couple years back.
mainstream. Yeah, it was a couple years back when I'm putting this shit on. You know what I mean? Like, okay, down south they did their greatest hits, but when it come to West Coast, ain't no other nigga. I'm talking that shit. I'm popping that lean. I'm popping pills. You go listen to all my music, nigga. First rap, you know what I mean? Out of West Coast, besides you know what I mean. After Dre, he was rapping about you know what I mean, Diz pills and stuff like that. So I said, you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
That's his lane. I'm gonna rap about pharmacies. And I start rapping around about pharmacy pills. You know what I mean? Getting that shit popping way before fucking Mac Miller or fucking Juice World or fucking Future. You know what I mean? Talking about
Yeah.
Xanax, Lean, and all
Hmm.
that. I'm rapping about that shit. You feel me?
No, for
And
sure.
but putting it on YouTube, being what I'm the first black YouTuber on YouTube. Boom, you know what I mean? I upload my shit in '08. You know what I mean? On Jesus Sandals, Mary Magdalene Panties. And nigga, you could Google the first black person to upload any type of blog. I didn't even know what a blog was. You feel me? I was just taking a camera,
Yeah.
running up and down Las Vegas Boulevard, sweating hoes. You feel me? And I uploaded it to YouTube. You know what I mean? Which is called blogging now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
could catch part one. I had part two. I had part three. You know what I mean? Of hey, me sweating bitches on Vegas. Volume one, upload another video. Me sweating business in Vegas, volume two. Okay, me a whole bunch of drugs, volume one. You know what I mean? Me with some more drugs, volume two. You know what I mean? And nigga, I
Type
swear to
shit.
God, I'm making up names of pills on the table. You feel me? And they still use it. I'm high as shit. I'm like, oh, we call these a yellow school buses. Da, da, da. I'm making up
Yeah,
names.
yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
Yeah, motherfuckers
Yeah.
still be calling them motherfucking names.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. They
You
still
know, we
call
still
those
was
names
like
to this
nigga,
day.
we was like niggas started a lot of this slangatory period. You know what I mean?
I was gonna
Like
say
as
like yeah, I feel like really blood like shit. You are more you're a pioneer for the pimp hop, but you're also a pioneer for like really popping the ism on YouTube though. Like a lot of people now they have the little vlogs where they walking down the blade. You feel me? They showing the little shit day to day. I feel like you is really the first one to pioneer that, and because if you were the first one to hit YouTube with that shit and just
niggas,
turn on the
it be
camera
only
like it was
person I was on
Nathan.
YouTube when I was on there with Soldier Boy. It wasn't nobody even know what to do with YouTube. For you gotta understand, to get YouTube back in the days, you had to have a computer. You feel me? It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't on your fucking sidekick. You feel me? You had to have a computer. To have a computer, you had to have fucking money to have a computer. Then you had to buy a camera, not the little cheap ass fucking camera. Cameras back in the days cost a lot. It wasn't on your phone. You had to spend like a band-aid to get an HD camera. Fuck 4K. We was in HD, nigga. High quality HD at that. We can't tell us nothing. $1,000 to get a camera. You gonna spend another thousand or two, you know what I mean, on a Mac computer. So you had to have somewhat Cheetos. And then you had to be a somewhat nerd to even know what the fuck you about to do with a camera, edit some shit. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers not
Mm-hmm.
even that. You feel me? Let alone motherfuckers that you know what I mean, barely having home studios. You feel me? So it's like, you know what I mean? So that's motherfucker, I had a little Cheetos and I had a little lane, you know what I mean? I was bored, you know what I mean? And I was like, I was doing my greatest hits. We used to have a camera back in the days with the little homies, little sleep in them. We used to do runouts all the time and shit. So we always had to have equipment and shit, cameras and all types of computers. 'Cause we used to do runouts all the time. So we used to have these little cameras every time we used to go somewhere. We never really could put the shit out, but we got some footage of us being wild ass niggas, fights, parties, just doing wild ass
Mm-hmm.
nigga shit.
Yeah.
We never
Type
put
shit.
that shit out before though. You know what I mean? Because it was, it was Millie. Like the police were gonna, it was bad. But then later on, like, you know what I mean? So I had the niche to like to use, you know what I mean? To like, the whole filming niche, you know what I mean? Because that's what we should do when we was little. So I was like, shit, nigga, let me upload this little shit. Let me film my day. I'm not doing nothing, no skits, no fucking. Let me turn the camera on and show motherfuckers what I'm doing today. And the shit, it might be 3,000 pills, pharmacy pills on the table that day, or it might be, you know what I mean? 3,000 hoes on Las Vegas Boulevard, me getting yelled at that day, whatever it may
Type
be.
shit.
Listen, I brought them into my world.
No, for
And
sure. Okay, so
that gave them a bird's eye view of this game that motherfuckers ain't never seen before. You feel me? I kind of opened I cracked the veil in a new
no, for
generation.
sure.
You know what
For
I mean?
sure, for
Motherfuckers
sure.
wasn't on camera no more. It was like, the American Pimp and them little movies. They got people locked up, pimp up, soldiers down. So niggas was scared of that camera. That's like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? And then I'm fucking with Pimp Ken and Maroy and them. Pimp Ken likes me. You say whatever you want on this camera, just don't get caught. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
For
know what I
sure.
mean? We made it work.
Nah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so boom. So with the Pimpville USA part two and all that, is that like kind of like a day to day on the bully type shit, or is it's a lot more?
Pimpville USA, part two is Pimp Hop. It's a doctor. The first documentary was on a players ball. You feel me? It was on a
Oh, okay.
celebrities players ball. It's like basically an event. You know what I mean? Where we hand out
Yeah, yeah.
trophies to celebrity entertainers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's you know what I mean. Been you know what I mean successful in the community. You know what I mean? And that tap in with the church. But so boom. To make a long story short, short story in part two is about a sub hip hop genre called Pimp Hop. Because like I was saying before, we got a Pimp Hop, and it is basically broadcasting, you know what I mean, the music, the artists, you know what I mean, that's in this genre, you know what I mean, for
Mm-hmm.
individuals. If you ain't
Yeah.
heard of pop and you be like, okay, I want to do my greatest hits. I want to boom light on a headstand, you know what I mean? So boom, they come in, you feel me, and could watch the documentary and be like, okay, this is hip hop. It's gonna give you a full yada yada feel me of this, you know what I mean? I'm talking about A to B from the female, you know what I mean, artists to the male artists from the East Coast to down south, you know what I mean, West Coast. I'm talking about we touching every corner doing our greatest
Okay.
hits for real.
Okay. Okay. For sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah. No. Okay. For sure. I just wanted to know just because it sounded kind of like it was like a little bit of everything. Like the documentary's gonna show like day to day. You sweating and shit whoop, on the bully or whatever. But it's more so like in the studio, at the players' ball, just showing the craft, showing the progress, the process
Yeah,
type shit.
showing that there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know what I mean? Because when you think of this yimping, you know what I mean? You thinking of, okay, bitch standing on the corner, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And her butts, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? We gonna at this bitch mainstream pimping, you know what I mean? Because whatever you do, you always gonna have a pimp, you gonna have a hoe, and you gonna have a trick, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to, your employer, the
Yeah.
employee, the customer. You gonna have that, you know what I mean? In any type of business settlement. So you guys gotta take your skills that we learned, because being a, you know what I mean, in this profession, it's like getting a 4 year a goddamn doctor's degree in business in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
No,
mean?
for
I take
sure.
hey, we go pimping at home. We gonna learn that in two, supply and demand. You know what I mean? How to motherfucking, you know what I mean? Find a good locations. You know what I mean, for your business. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? How to, you know what I mean? Where, okay, what good places? Okay, it's a lot of traffic right here. Bitch, you can stand on these corners. There's a lot of hotels on this street. You know what I mean? Okay, boom.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of liquor stores and stuff like that to grab condoms and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Traffic. Okay, we can make a track right here. Shut the bitch down. You know what I mean? Boom. You know what I mean? Like, okay, right here. This hotel is right off the freeway exit. You feel me? Okay, so when tricks driving around, you know what I mean, and they doing calls, they can see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, this will be a good spot to do some motherfucking in calls. So they learn a lot of business skills. So when we learn so much business skills, you know what I mean, and at the same time have so much money that people have to go to banks to get invested for their business. You need $10,000, they go to the bank, invest in the business. Pimping the home gonna get it in a week, you know, and it can invest in that business. So when you have these type of opportunities and you have this type of knowledge, it's time to turn some of this legal money to legit money, and this should be showing other ways that you could progress. Okay, you could, you know what I mean? Like, I can make movies, you know what I mean? I can make music. Okay, pimps and hoes listen to my music, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
pimping a hoe. Who listens to pimp hop, pimps and hoes. Well, a lot of squares been listening lately too. That's why we've been getting into the millions. But like, like, okay, who watches these things? The community watches these. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm just supplying, you know what I mean, content for this community. And when I was in that game, you know what I mean? That's what I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch pimp movies. I wanted to watch, you know what I mean? I listen to pimp music. You know what I mean? I wanted to wear pimp clothes. It was just pimp, 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 ho, ho, ho. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I could think of. You feel me? So, I'm just doing my greatest hits. You feel me? You're showing that, there's all type of shit like on part two, we're showing how you have a luxury. It was like a lingerie store. You know what I mean? That was on Fig. You know what I
Okay.
mean? For
Yeah. Yeah.
females and
Yeah. For
stuff like
sure.
that. And you know what I mean? Somebody invested in something like that. Like there's a lot of ways to invest in. You know what I mean? In a game. You know what I mean? With clothing lines and da da da. And we could get legit. You know what I mean? And get in and get out. You feel me? Just like after the slavery, we had to be black independent owners because nobody was hiring us. You feel me? Same as with the game. You feel me? Ain't nobody hiring us for our record. You know what I mean? And what we've
Mm-hmm.
been through. We ain't got no
Yeah.
job. We ain't got no. Now we've been out here doing our greatest hits. You feel me? So we have to make our own businesses. You feel me? But by that way, we're gonna keep the money in. You know what I mean? The community where everybody's gonna be able to do their greatest hits, and you know what I mean. In that in that middle class could progress into that. You know what I mean? Upper
Mm-hmm.
class. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
in
No,
a lot
for
of
sure.
pips and
No.
O's, you know what I mean? In that generation, yeah, I could definitely say if you're making over 100,000, you're upper class, and the most raggedy, funkiest bitch is making 10 bands a month. That's 100,000 a year, and you know what I mean. So I can see why they hate some yipping because even the, you know what I mean. The
That
average
part.
motherfucker, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At the worst, is
Yeah.
pimp
Yeah.
is doing better
Yeah.
than a lot of these motherfuckers, man.
No, for sure. For
So
sure.
imagine a motherfucker, you know what I mean? The ones that pimps is making 100,000 a month. You know what I mean? Three, you know what I mean? You got one bitch making $1,000 a day. You know what I mean? That's 30 bands a month. You know what I mean? You got three of
Mm-hmm.
those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's 100 bands. You know what I mean? That's $1 million in a year. You know what I mean? So you can see why motherfuckers get hate on this game. You know what I mean? Because they think
Oh, it's
they
prosperous. It's
money stuff
prosperous for
easy.
sure.
It
Yeah.
ain't easy. Pimping ain't easy, but it's fun. You know what I mean? They think that
Yeah.
motherfuckers don't have a job. Like, oh, these motherfuckers just sit on their ass all day and da 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 da. Nah, it's nothing like that. Pimping is a full time CEO motherfucking job. You know what I mean? Where you have to motherfucking work your motherfucking ass off. A lot of motherfuckers want to be pimps, but they don't want to pimp. They want to do
Mm-hmm.
no pimp. You know what I mean? That's all the money that's supposed to fall in their
Yeah.
hand. They don't want to go do their greatest hits. They don't want to say this year, do this, do this, do this, all the shit that require. I mean, you have to do some working. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you might even
Yeah.
have to phone and do some texting. You know what I mean? You have to do some work, and this ain't easy. You have to get this. You want
Yeah.
some money? You feel me? You got to be working 10 times harder than these hoes.
No,
You
for
feel me?
sure.
So pimping, hey, this pimping ain't easy. Like nigga, this shit, bitch, that ain't giving over money. That's why a lot of niggas don't want to be pimps. Oh, I rather sell drugs, or I can't put up with no bitch, and da da da. A lot of motherfuckers done tried. They failed because this shit ain't
Mm-hmm.
easy.
No, for
That's
sure.
why
For
all
sure.
types of
Sure.
rules and shit. These niggas can't apply to these rules. That's why they say, "Oh, I ain't a pimp. I'm a crip. I ain't a pimp. I'm a dope boy." You know what I mean? Because you can't apply to these rules. You know what I mean?
No, real
And
shit.
a bitch gonna tell you, "Nigga, you ain't no pimp," and then they gonna be like, "Guess what? I'm right. You right, bitch. I ain't no pimp. I'm a motherfucking goddamn scammer." You feel me? But I just take money from a hoe. You need to get out the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for
Get
sure.
the fuck out the way,
Yeah.
because that's not right. You feel me? And let's leave it to motherfuckers, because they fucking up good hoes. You know
It
what I mean? A
definitely
lot of
takes a
people
lot of
have to have.
patience to build a bitch and build yourself type shit. You feel me? Because a lot of people want to sit there and think, oh, it's just, hey, all on the bitch. She gonna put it right in my hand. If you ain't giving the bitch no game, why should she pay you, P? If you're not showing her another life, but trying to take her to another light and trying to help her elevate, why do you think she would do anything for you, P? So I don't know. Like a lot of people got the game fucked up, where they just feel like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just send a bitch. She gonna bust the date. She gonna come back with the bread. I'm not gonna give her no type of game. We're not gonna do no road running. We're not gonna do none of that. We're gonna stay right
Right,
here with these
right,
two
right,
tricks.
right,
Like,
right. Having some regulars, you know what I mean, and be
yeah,
put in a started and never really
yeah,
started. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Just this, you know, this there's not pride, no progress. So you know, it makes a lot of progress. You know what I mean? And just being in the game for so long, and then you know what I mean, getting out. It was just like okay, you know what I mean. I would say it was an easy, you know what I mean, transition, you know what I mean? But it happened, you know what I mean? Simple fact, because, you know, niggas know how to make LLCs, you know, niggas know how to make corporations, get your business bank
Mm-hmm.
account. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Niggas know how to, like, you know what I mean? Start your businesses. Niggas don't start a business from scratch, you know what I mean? From one little nappy nigger bitch. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Put what they say, put a pig on a wig, you know what I mean? And did all types of shit, you know what I mean? Like, started a business from the scratch, you know what I mean? You have to knock the Juby one time, you have to get the Juby one time dressed, you have to find a way to the location, you have to have some starter capital to get the your video
mm-hmm.
started. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? The little
type
fuck
shit.
ass bitch started. Got to set the bitch down. You know what I mean? Got to give her game structures. Like you know how you have team managements once a week. You know what I mean, for your whole employees. And I do this all day with the bitch. You got to stay being here all day. Motivation, motivation, motivation,
That
motivation,
part. That
motivation,
part.
motivation. Life coach for real. Motivation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Nah,
mean?
for
Make
sure.
sure you get paid for being a life coach. You're getting paid for being a security guard. You're getting paid for, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, damn, you know what I mean? That's a psychiatrist. You know what I mean? You get paid for, you know what I
All
mean?
that.
That's why you get
Yeah,
paid so much money because there's so many jobs in one. God damn, you know?
yeah.
You know,
No, for
but
sure.
shit, you for a motherfucker that like loves being productive. You know what I mean? That's what the P stands for, being productive. You know what I mean? Because not one
Mm-hmm.
thing gets wasted in the P life. You know what I mean? There's always something to do, and there's always, you know what I mean? You got to check something off. You feel me? Off that map, you know, for real. Off
Yeah,
that
no,
map.
for
That,
sure, for
that,
sure. Nah, nah,
yeah,
nah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Like that's why I said, like you gotta have a lot of patience to even hold down 2, 3 in a stable. You feel me? Because you don't know if they gonna get along or not. You feel me? You got them going through their feelings and shit. Like you say, you got to be a life coach all day. Motivation, 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 motivation. That's gonna
oh,
take a lot out of you.
that's why I ain't in that shit no more, man. That shit too much work for me, man. You know what I mean? I stick to these little movies, you know what I mean? You know, we've been signed to Universal. I've been signed, well, not me personally, but hey, I'm an executive, you know what I mean, at Universal. I have a label with Universal called Juice Division Records, LOC. And I'm not signed to an artist at Universal, you feel me? Though I do be putting out my own music and stuff under my own label, but you know, I find talent, you know what I mean? And you know, we could, you know, we gonna put them out to Universal, you know what I mean, through Juice Division slash, you know, Bungalow slash Universal Music Group. And I've been doing my greatest hits. I've been dropping a couple projects. We got a song with the New Boys dropping in 2 weeks. New Boys and Tax G, you know what I mean? New Boys doing Pimp
Okay,
Hop. I mean, I guess
that's big.
you know, they
That's big.
transitioned over to a
Yeah,
different, you know, to a different little woo wop. You know what I mean? I guess
yeah,
you
type shit.
yeah, with the stripper bitches and shit. I guess you know what I mean. Ain't nothing wrong getting money for a girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
as a stripper. And there ain't nothing wrong with having more than one girlfriend. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing illegal about it neither. So
That part. That part.
so boom. So we doing our greatest hits. So we got a single with the New Boys doing our greatest hits. Like how after the jerk movement got a lot of niggas on, but it didn't keep niggas on. So after
Yeah.
YG had to go to the like the swoop movement, you know what I mean? Kid Ink
Mm-hmm.
has to, you know what I mean? You had to change
Yep.
that genre. You feel me? They didn't change the genre and it, you know, not dying off because they still doing their greatest hits. You know what I mean? People still listen to that shit on TikTok and you know, the anti dance wave is the wave. But now they coming back, you feel me, because of they learning that you know me got to switch that genre up. You know what I mean? They you know and they pick Pimp Hop. You feel me? So you going you know I don't just say shit. You know what I mean? You know I could sell it better than I can tell it. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
but
No, no, for sure.
you feel me? So that's gonna go viral. You feel me? That's gonna go viral. You feel me? It's
Definitely
called
go viral. For
Three or
sure, for
Four
sure.
Music. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, Tax G. You know what I mean? Benji, Juice Lee. You know what I mean? 304 Music. That drops on the 30th under Universal.
Okay, boom. Y'all definitely look out for that for sure, for sure. I was gonna ask, is there another artist out the biddy on Bungalow right now?
Huh?
Is there another artist under Bungalow right now from the biddy?
Not shit.
I could have swore
Like
Marty was fucking with him, but I don't know. I could have been wrong
uh,
because he's.
uh. I know J.O. Felony was tapped in.
Oh, okay. Yep. Shot jail felony. All right, for sure.
Tapped in with Universal. You feel me? I know my Bungalow. My niggas fucking I don't know if that would be nukes and
Yeah,
usually
because
well,
I talked to him like maybe like 2 months ago. He was like, "Yeah, I just got this big deal from Bungalow or whatever and shit, and I'm
okay,
working with
okay,
them." So
okay. All right, well, you might. Well, I don't know. Like if it's in the last 2 3 months, then it's possible.
okay, for
It's
sure.
possible. You know what I mean? But they haven't contacted me or let me know anything yet. You feel me? But most of anybody from the Biddy, you know what I mean? They fuck with the Legion. So it's been big, bro. You know what I mean? It's been big. You feel me? We've been doing our greatest hits. You feel me? On the mainstream status.
No,
So
for
it's like,
sure.
the Dago, I was around when, we didn't have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mainstream Dago didn't have a music scene. You know what I mean? And we had to make a music scene. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers from Bay Area was laughing at us. We had LA laughing, cracking jokes.
Yeah.
I know I could go
Man.
out. They wasn't taking our shit serious. They wasn't taking our beat selection and our beat maker serious. They wasn't taking our
Hmm.
cover art serious. And they wasn't taking, you know what I mean, Dago rapper serious, period. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Yeah. No,
still
for sure.
some Dago, left Dago, and they said Dago niggas are cool. You feel me? And in order
Yeah.
for these to start meeting Dago niggas, that's when the Gimp culture start going and niggas start
Hmm.
yada I mean, and and they starting to
Yep.
meet Dago niggas, and they was like, okay, now if you met a Dago nigga, 9 out of 10 he was a pimp. You know what I mean? That everybody know if from the OT, you meet a nigga from San Diego, he's some pimp, and if he's in your city, you know what he's doing, and that's why they tell you niggas from everybody San Diego some pimps. You know what I mean? Like niggas
Yeah. No,
San
for sure,
Diego's
man.
pimps. But when they start meeting these San Diego niggas, you feel me? They start saying, well, they ain't just pimps neither. They some gangster pimps over there. You know what I mean? Them niggas out there doing their greatest hits, and they cool to the motherfucker. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? You could go to any map or any Megan Personals in the United States and you're gonna see a 619 number. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because we out
Yeah.
here like
For
motherfucker.
sure. No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so boom. What song would you want them to hear and shit, bro? One of your greatest hits? Would it would be off of this new tape right here, this Juice Division?
um, what is this? Toe Music, Volume 3. Yep, that's that Jupiter Light right there.
You let me know which one you want me to blab.
Let me see what you got there. Let me see what's Jupiter Light right there. Let's see what we got here. I don't know. I'll be laughing on that little GP one time. Mm-mm. I don't know. It's Blab number one. This juice. It's just juice the juice box. Just let's play on that tag. You know what I mean?
All right,
See
we
what's
gonna
going.
all right. We'll do
Start from.
Rolly to a Porsche and then we just go down.
Oh yeah, that's a true story.
Okay, for sure.
Oh, that's a true story.
San Diego division. DJ one time. Never a hater. Bitch. Go smack it. Smack it. Are you a 3 or 4? Make some Cheetos.
Oh Jesus hell.
You better treat her like a prostitute. Hey baby, got one little question. Do you got a man to me? I'm a little different. I do not hold hands. And how are you paying the pimpin' and he don't got a plan? I might grind in the club, but I do not dance. Had a bag of the jeans, dilly in the pants. Bitch, you can listen to his music, bitch, don't be too fan. I might be off a perk, I might be off his hand. Dilly in the hand, that's why that boy ran. Tequila type, I don't like it. Nothing against wheat bread, I like white better. I don't rap no more, I just spit facts. I don't shoot no more, I just pay hats. Try quick park and it start hurting and I relapse. Bottom said, you the biggest P, I said, of course. Let me tell a little story, I turned that Rollie to a Porsche. Let me tell a little story, I turned that Rollie to a Porsche.
Let me tell a little story. I turned that Rollie to a Porsche. It's my East Coast partner.
San Diego division. Oh yeah. Bitch, are you a 3 or
That
4?
East Coast hip hop right here.
Yeah,
Nigga
that
that
coat all
Pastor
right.
Hill from New York, Pastor from Jersey.
San Diego division. First question, little mama, when you walk in the door. How your day been? Where's the cho? Ain't no such thing as slow days, only slow toes. It's guapale, alright, but I'm gonna need more. Put that little makeup on, bitch, it's time to go. Beats, hit the flow. It's Mary Pippin, and I can put that on the dead tone. Square shit forbidden. Okay, that's his girlfriend, but he say he pimpin'. Wanna get the poppin' out the bitch, why you always trippin'? How you getting out the money and you always sleeping? How you pimpin' and you free fucking? How that's your bottom and she always tucking? Talking fast, but you ain't said nothing. Don't make me bang something. You a square, you think you bang or something? Cock it back, I think I'm on to something. Oh yeah. The P-Unit division. Yeah. Break the bitch into a train. I got what you do. I say, Pimpville U.S.A. I got the East Coast. Send my bitch to work. I ain't keeping my feet close. I baptized a renegade. She told me she need folks. In every state campaigning for me, I need votes. They realizing that they can't stop it. This my time. No location on it, cause I ain't trying to find mine. The East Coast a day, little baby was 5'9". Keep telling Juice Lee that I need a skyline. Middle of my city, put that bitch in the snowstorm. Bitch, it freeze to death, but she keeping my chose on. I'm on calls in, quarter length, make no clothes on. I'm popping him and I ain't right a word for the host.
She stayed down like a Fleetwood on 4 flat tires, rolly pink face, two-tone with the sapphire.
You're my greatest hits.
I
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Why I gotta put up with the dumb shit? No Cheetos, but you seem
But you
all
are
on
fuck
love, bitch. No
shit.
bread sticks, then you don't touch on this pimp dick. I said he ain't gonna bitch. 9 to 5, broke bitch die. If you don't post, ain't no posting up. Why you think you better than the bitch you out here selling up? Script bitch, you got me throwing up. I'm the P that got her choosing up. Julian footed up.
I'm posting the beat chosen. Lay back and get open. Boy, you wanna be my ocean. Already know what to do.
Hey, Lou.
You gotta choose.
That's actually right there. That's special guest right there.
Hey, man.
Already know what to do.
Watch how I walk.
Gotta interview my nigga Tax Street, man.
That you walk on the street. God damn it, I need the money if you talking to me. So hopefully that you come with a fee. God damn it. So play with him, don't be playing with me. His bank rolling, I came with the P. God damn it, man. I'm with pills, I'm with tax, I'm with you.
It's my nigga Gusto from New York.
She lose.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one right there.
Yeah, that one was Gusto from New York on the hook. It's Tax G from New Jersey. The last song was Pastor
Okay.
Chill from New York. I got a lot of East Coast pimp hop on this album because, like I said, we pimp hop. It's West Coast, it's East Coast, it's down south. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm giving these motherfuckers, you know what I mean, a taste of this here shit. You know what I mean? From the east
Yeah,
to
yeah,
west,
yeah,
down
yeah,
south.
yeah.
Down.
No, for sure, for sure. Would you say like with your audience and shit? Have you seen like when you look at your analytics? Have you seen like is it crazy to see like people tapping in from like Japan, like Italy, shit like that?
Yeah,
Or
that
it's
is
all
good.
over.
You know what I mean? When motherfuckers be like, you know what I mean? Like really fucking with it type shit, or when I be like seeing articles with me and
Mm-hmm.
you shit like that, it be different. It's different. It's
No,
different.
for
'Cause I'm
sure.
like, okay, all right. They doing our greatest hits. You feel me? This
Hell
pimp
yeah.
pop ain't going global, man.
No, for
Whether it's
sure,
like
for sure.
global, likely mobile, that was
For
big.
sure, for sure. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like that shit getting out there global, bro. So that's like that makes you feel like, damn, like I'm really putting some shit out there. Well, I mean, you've been putting some shit out there, but I'm just saying like the way that it's grown throughout the years.
Right. Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger. That's why, you know what I mean? I appreciate this shit. You know what I mean? It's getting bigger. We seen it grow from a seed and to going mainstream. So it's like
Yeah.
a project. You know what I mean? It's like it's like that baby. You know what I mean? We birth it. You feel me? You was bumping, you was humping. You know what I mean? And then you had to wait the
Mm-hmm.
9 months. You know what I mean? And then then it came. And then you water.
Hmm.
It's
That
like
part.
anything. You fed it. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
bathed. You know what I mean? Took care of it. You know what I mean? You raised it. You taught it. Motherfucking rules and morals. And here it is today. Pimp hop.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Okay, boom. So all right, we gonna do let's see, we got what, three more? We just play the whole take. Fuck it.
I could just do our greatest hits.
Let's do it.
I got codeine in my juice. Codeine? Bankroll be higher than the roof.
I'm posting the beat chosen. Lay back and get open. Boy, you wanna be my ocean. You already know what to do. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You already know.
RP Nipsey on here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. How was it? That was the other thing I could ask. How was it being in the studio with Nip?
Boy, a legend. You already know how that is. Humble motherfucker. You know what I mean? But smart
Yeah.
motherfucker at the same time. You know what I mean? He always gave some juice game. You know what I mean? Always gave Juice game. You know what I mean? And I used to like, and when especially coming to music business, I just like, I follow whatever Nip was doing. You know what I mean? What we doing next, Nip? You know what I mean? Hit up Nip. You know what I mean? See what he got going on. You know what I mean? And he gonna have you on the right path. He gonna have you on some shit because he's doing his homework. He's doing his
Yeah,
greatest hits. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's a Leo. You feel me? He's like studying. You know what I mean? A lot. You
yeah,
know what I
no
mean? And
type shit.
he's gonna figure this shit out. So I always tapped in with him and got a lot of good advice from him and shit like that. You know what I mean? Especially with the independent game and
Hmm.
making this shit make sense. Cause I
Yeah,
know at Nipsey at peak, I want to say he was making at least fucking just he was getting paid like I want to say once a week off TuneCore or something like that. Once or twice or once or every 2 weeks off TuneCore, and he was damn near getting like you know what I mean. He was making about half. I want to say he was getting about 25,000. You know what I mean, a week type shit. You know what I mean. He was getting in a low six figure. He was getting
yeah,
in
yeah.
around 100,000 a month independently off of TuneCore, keeping all of his you know what I mean royalties. You know what I mean off TuneCore. You feel me? He wasn't with no big distributor. He wasn't with Universal. He was 100% independent, you know what I mean, off of tune chords. The same way how fucking Draco did it off of fucking distro kid. You feel me?
Distro kid.
100 kept
Yep.
100% of his profit, you feel me?
Yeah.
Promoted himself. He had so much of a buzz, he didn't really need a label. He just dropped videos 2, 3 times a week. Stay
Hmm.
consistent, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the fans fuck with you, you know what I mean? And this day and age is about consistency, you know what I mean? And fans is fucking with that, you know what I mean? That it seems that's what's hot right now, you know what I mean? Whoever's dropping them videos once a week, you know what I mean? You the hottest, you know what I mean? You gotta say it
Yeah.
costs money, you know what I mean? Put them outfits together and you know what I mean? And the motherfucking video do get paid, you know what I mean? And put it out
Hmm.
and then the motherfucker gotta have a little bit of Cheetos, you know, and if you have a little bit of
Yeah.
Cheetos, you might have a little bit of, you know what I mean, say so in your community. Motherfuckers might be talking about you because you're the money
Yeah.
guy. I mean,
No, for
so
sure,
that
for
would
sure.
kind of, you know what I mean? Most motherfuckers that do music, they already got to somewhat have a little, you know what I mean? Like Cheetos about themselves, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? For
sincerely
motherfucking
going.
audience,
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
really good to see what they saying. You know what I mean? 'Cause nobody want to listen to no broke nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
So
for
you can,
sure,
you know what I
for
mean? Be
sure.
the coldest rapper, you feel me? But blood, you ain't doing your greatest hits. You feel me? You ain't stepping up.
Yeah.
You ain't elevating. We seen that little video with you in the hood, looking grimy. We loved it. You know what I mean? But next year we wanted to see at least a chain on or
Yeah.
something. And the year after
Yeah.
that, we
See
want to
some
see
type of elevation
we
from
see
you.
your ass in a car
Yeah.
the year after that. You know what I mean? You still ain't got a car out. You know what I mean? And you got a million views. And
Yeah.
next year after that, well, you know what I mean? You want to see in progress. You feel me? And motherfuckers
For
is
sure.
gonna fuck with you. You know what I mean? You got to look like a rapper. You know what I mean? In order for people to take you serious.
Hmm.
You know
No,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, okay, he's a rapper. You know what I mean? You see a
Yeah.
bitch in fishnet and high heels, she's a prostitute. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So
Yeah.
how you a rapper, you know what I mean? And you ain't got your jewels on, you know what I mean? You ain't got your shiny teeth, you know what I mean? You ain't got your
Hmm.
diamonds and shit like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? You ain't got your Rollie and shit like that. You know what I mean? You
No,
ain't,
for
you know what I
sure.
mean? You ain't, they ain't gonna take you serious. You know what
No,
I
for
mean?
sure.
You ain't no rapper. Rappers make
Yeah.
money.
How could I believe what you're saying is true if you still on the same
Broken
block
in the back
wearing the same
glass.
shirt? Yeah. Type
Thank
shit.
you. You ain't doing your greatest hits. So how I'm
Yeah.
gonna be, you know what I mean? Come on, you
Nah,
ain't
that part,
bootlegging
man.
my hits, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, the only reason why I asked about the Nip thing is because a lot of people be like trying to like throw shade on it, like, oh, Nip never fuck with Dago like that, bro. Nip was in Dago all the time, fucking with everybody.
Whoa, that was a disrespect. Somebody really said that. That's
Yeah.
why I did Doctor. That's why I did a compilation with Nipsey Hussle when I got out. You know what I mean? I was seeing like you know what
Shout
I
out to
mean.
Bad Karma too.
Shout out to Bad Karma. I did a compilation called Hustle Music with Nipsey Hussle, and it's with all the songs that he did with San Diego artists. It's a compilation. It was simple fact because I didn't feel like what you said. I didn't feel like San Diego got the enough exposure and love that they were supposed to get for. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we've been fucking with Nip since day one. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
nigga, I'm the first person that ever paid Nipsey for you know what I mean a verse outside of San Diego. You know what I mean? Outside of fucking
Yeah.
LA, you know what I mean? Like paid verse,
Hmm.
like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like I'm fucking with bruh. Like nigga, anytime he did something in San Diego, he was tapping in. You know what I mean? I was tapping in. Hey, Nip, we got a show out here. Hey, Nip, you know what I mean? I got somebody else that want a verse out here.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like niggas was really boomlighting in the Diddy type shit, you know what I mean? Before a nigga even blew up, you know what I mean? You gotta understand San Diego being the second biggest fucking city in California. LA's
Hmm.
the first, you feel me? We're the eighth
Yep.
largest city in the United States. We are one of the major targets when it comes to marketing on the West Coast, you feel me? Arizona, San Diego, and LA, you feel me? They're
Hmm.
the top three biggest cities on the West Coast. So there are major targets when it comes to music, you feel me? So when you have San Diego, you know what I mean? You have fucking LA, you gonna basically be able to take over the whole West Coast. You feel me? Because that's what motherfuckers. You know what I mean? They know we start a lot of trends. You feel me? And
No, for
we
sure.
have, like I said, the two biggest populations in California. So when you have San Diego and LA. you're gonna get Portland, you're gonna get Vegas, you're gonna get Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get the
Yeah.
Bay Area, you're gonna get Utah, you're gonna get Denver. You taking all that, and that's what you have to take over San Diego and LA. Once you take over those two, boom, you get those all those regions right there, and it
Yeah.
pops off.
That part.
You feel me? And that's how we get it down on the West Coast. You feel me? And so business. Nipsey knew that. Nipsey is a businessman. You know what I mean? He knew about demographics and
Mm-hmm.
pick key
Yeah, for
targets. You
sure.
feel me? That's why he
Mm-hmm.
did so many songs with San Diego artists. So you know what I mean? We put it up as a compilation and put it out. You know what I mean? Just to show. You know what I mean? Being just to show the world, like, man, don't forget about San Diego, man. We were
Yeah, because we
detrimental.
always kind of
You know
get
what I mean?
second
We were
looked at from
detrimental,
LA a little
and
bit.
Nipsey, exposure blowing up early. You know what I mean? It was very detrimental. You know what I mean? In his career, you know what I mean? Like any supporter, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we was there. You know what I mean? Second from LA, it was Dago. You know what I mean? You always show love. Ask Mozzie who showed the most love. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Like I remember seeing old videos of
After
like you, Bad Karma, Mac Twan, Nip, like all you feel me,
Man,
all
we got
around the
hella footage. We got hella footage. I'm gonna
you know what
put
I'm
that out
saying?
on
Yeah.
on my next Tubi documentary. Since you said that, I'm gonna do a documentary on Tubi, and I'm gonna take all of it because motherfuckers don't know. That shit footage is buried in history. So I'm gonna put out, you know what I mean, that old shit with us and Mac Dre and with Sugar Free and Nipsey Hussle, and you know what I mean. That's that back in the day shit with Tech Nine and just Suge Knight. You know what I mean, and just you know what I mean. Motherfuckers don't know the history. Like nigga, we sideways. We was out there hanging with Suge Knight. How
Yeah,
you think we knew our business consultant? How you think
that
we was
part.
on our shit? You feel me? Like nigga, that was our business consultant for Sideways Entertainment. You know what I mean? Like it was shit was big. We was running around the whole day with that nigga. You know what I mean? Beating the shit
Yeah,
up.
hell yeah. No, for sure, for
You
sure.
feel me?
No, for
Like
sure.
come on, nigga. We had Suge Knight with us. You know what I mean? So we got the footage of that.
Yeah,
So we
definitely
gonna
put that out. That'd be big for sure,
I'm
bro.
about to put out all that shit and let motherfuckers know the history, and niggas been doing that greatest hits.
No,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Motherfuckers just ain't popped up, you know what I mean? And how's your Cedric. You could Google this pimping, you know what I mean? You could fuck, you know what I mean? You could fuck Googling, man. Just ask any, you know what I mean? Let's ask anybody, you know what I mean? And they gonna tell you, man,
That part.
Juice Up Pimp, you know what I mean? San Diego division, you know what I mean? Extraordinaire, legend, you know what I mean? You been doing this greatest hits, man. You boom letting on the headstand for real though, man. I ain't out here faking. You feel
No,
me?
for
The
sure,
reason
for
why
sure.
anybody could be hating because I'm been here since day one, and I'm the only one that knows the ins and outs, and I could, you know what I mean? I could say, hey, that didn't happen. Oh no, this happened like this, and
Mm-hmm.
this is a
Yeah.
lot of people are dead in the jail. You know what I mean? I'm still here to tell the story. You feel me? How it always been, how it was. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna let you know how it's gonna be. You know what I mean? I'm in the year 3000 when it comes to this yimping shit. You know what I mean? I'm from all another world. So yeah, we doing our greatest hits.
No, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Boom. We'll get back to the blaps, but I just wanted to ask you that, bro, just because I was hearing it a lot, and I was like, I need somebody to come out and say it, like, hey, man, like, nah, this is factuals, this real Figaro facts type shit, like,
Nip, fuck with us so tough, brother. I'm telling you, fuck with town so tough. You feel me? Everybody fuck with the town tough. You feel me? It's established. And a lot of niggas use the town to blow up. You feel me? Even Mozzie, you gotta be from Sacramento. You mean Sacramento and the Bay? They 50-50 each other. They fuck with each other, don't fuck with each other. You feel me? They
mm-hmm.
go some Sac nigga was, you know what I mean, in Fresno, you know what I mean? And motherfucking, all that. Them motherfuckers attached to Dago easier, you know what I mean? Like my niggas in Stockton, you feel me? He became J-Bo, you know what I mean? He gonna tell you where he get his love from Dago, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker
Slow B
Mozzie
too.
gonna tell
Slow
you
B
where
be
he
getting
get it.
Dago all the time.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Dago, Mozzie, Dago. You feel me? Even you know what I mean? Like niggas blow up fucking with Dago niggas. You know what I mean? And our Dago culture. You know what I mean? We say you hot, you gonna blow up. And Dago have your back fed, we gonna blow up. You know what I mean? Like straight the fuck up. You one of them cities after you got your city, come holler at Dago. We say you official, you gonna blow up, nigga. You know what I mean? It's we a military city. You know what I mean? So
No,
people from
so
here, we travel everywhere out. You know what I mean? Plus the pimp city. People from here travel everywhere out. The music is out. You feel me? And we stamp it. We so fly. You know what I mean? Anything we say. You know what I mean?
yeah.
We could get we make something really cool around here, man. We could get something juby one time around here, Schmecky, huh?
Yeah, we got that
Yeah.
Juby flavor, man. Like it's
Yeah, when
different.
you
It's
see the whole
different.
West Coast lingo is San Diego. You know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
started the majority of the lingo that the motherfuckers is using in the game. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Come on, bro. We got all that little shit. You know what I mean? I got these niggas really booming. We got this shit booming. Niggas just with the, you know what I mean? Niggas really, you know what I mean? Talking like, you know what I mean? From shit that niggas done started in our garage.
Type shit.
Motherfuckers,
You got
so
you got people all around the world sounding like they from the southeast type shit.
sound like Southeast San Diego on Jesus Sandals. You feel me? So it's big on Jesus Sandals and Mary Magdalene Panties. We're gonna keep doing our greatest hits. It's just a start. This is the breakout year. All I already was telling motherfuckers this is the breakout year for the town. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
the
yeah. No,
breakout
for
year for
sure.
the town. Yeah, like Atlanta did their greatest hits. You know what I mean? LA been broke out. Atlanta has a breakout year. Chicago has a breakout year. Nigga, this Dago breakout year. Nigga, we boom late on the headstand on Jesus Sandals.
Yeah, it's about our time, man. For sure, for sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Get caught slipping, but type to get caught tripping. Get chopped spitting, leave his brains leaking. Don't know what he was thinking, just know he ain't breathing. Don't order garbage rappers, I was doing out of pocket bitch, gon' get an ass beating. Kill Illuminati if he did to show his body. Pimpin', ballin', and rapping, it's my hobby. Boys in the hood shit, wanna see a dead body. Strapped in the party, smoking weed in the lobby. I'm the kid, juiced instead of karate. Need a Lamborghini, but be happy with a Maserati. Like to make it seem so right back to 40. Perform late, but catch a plane early. Gangsta nigga, but ain't scared to dress nerdy. Grimy nigga, but ain't scared to dress pretty. Vodka nigga, but ain't scared to drink. Lights, camera, smacking. 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 Lights, camera. Lights, camera, smacking. Lights, camera. Lights, camera, smacking. Lights, camera. Lights, camera, smacking. I'm a product of the metal streets. Walk with the metal heaters. Ducking them choppers and talking. Blow weed and sweets off before the other dollars. Purpose to make the profit. Pick up rock and push the product. Sell it the lot. Cause round here we got our own thing. Fucking with that dope gang. My turn grams to gold chain. I soaked up my ways from OGs that was paid. Any position needed I could play.
Dollars I get it anyway. Make it or take it. Be grateful if you see the day, cuz Timmons is great. All just locked in that is good. I can't stop, I never quit.
Lights, camera, smack in. Lights, camera. Lights, camera, smack in.
Product that is getting street. Fuck with the metal heat.
Lights, camera, smack in. Lights, camera. 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 Lights, camera, smack in. My love is on and off like a light switch. Bit the bitch right now doing some scandalous shit. Don't get me fucked up if you see me doing bad. I done made $1 million for my bitches. I'm all one. Can't split me like a fraction. See who acts different once the juice go platinum. Doing it big like a mansion. I'm all large like a magnum. See my little homies will do it. Didn't see shit. Don't ask me what happened. Haters never thought that I would make it in rapping. I got the juice. I'm all one. It's all in me. Jealousy and envy make a friend turn enemy. Used to be enemy. Now the nigga dead in me. Dirt that I did will remain in history. I gotta speak up for the scary niggas scared to speak. I gotta eat beef for the scary niggas scared to eat. Lights, camera. Lights, camera, smacking. 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 Studio 24/5, I got a lot to say. Bitch down 24/7, she got a lot to pay. Really not. No, I'm not for play. Why do a mission if I'm trying to get a day? Keep a pistol close cause I'm trying to see the day. Niece and nephews grow up and my daughter graduate. If you know half I've been through, then you wouldn't hate. R.I.P. Nate feels like yesterday. R.I.P. Ambo when I did my first take. When I did my first mission, year later started pimping. Too busy flipping, cooking rocks in the kitchen. Didn't recognize this ain't the life I should be living. SDPD, happy that I'm rapping. I want the little homies that always keep it smacking. Pull up to the trap, get what you want from Fab Action. Lights, camera, smacking. Lights, camera, smacking. Lights, camera. 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 Lights, camera, smacking. Lights, camera.
This is a Nick Knox production.
I see that BBO, baby, won't you shake some ass? I got bitches, break bitches, and I'm counting cash. Drink nodding in a foreign, hope I don't crash. If I see 'em, gotta get 'em, I ain't giving pass. Tom Brady with the stick, how this shit blast. Lil baby.
Oh, it's D-Bick right here, huh?
Hit them all, I ain't tripping on check tags. Really pimping about this shit, I'll check a fag. New turnout with this shit, she gon' get it back. Still
Yeah, shout out D-Bick for sure.
gangster with the pipper, see the front
Me,
flag.
D-Vic and CSA name Keith just did a song yesterday in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Getting a bitch ass like
Yeah, we got a
Levi's.
song coming out soon.
Been doing this shit since knee high.
Hell yeah.
My bitch in the corner like bean pies. Side. I'm switching lanes, I'm in the bitch brain. Don't compare me to X, it won't be the same. Bitch, you talking to me or talking to yourself? I got some instructions, I see you need some help. I got more game than a PlayStation. That's why God made masturbation. I'm complaining. I gave you the game, what are you saying?
What you saying, complaining? I don't feel that shit. If you got the check, bitch, better feel that shit. Build a bear to the end, how I built the bitch. I'll blow up on a bitch over weird shit. I'll go up on a nigga trying to steal shit. Still pimping, bitch, still up and kill shit. It's out the coochie, little mama, she don't steal shit. Big Kim been a man in the building. I break a bitch, hit it, this for her feelings. I break a bitch, hit it, this for the feelings.
I got pimping, I don't got feelings. Post on multiple sites for mass appealing. Your hoe got you choosing up, how you feeling? What you telling me that for? You heard of abortion? Fuck them kids. Fuck that shit. On that pop your high shit then. Go from bucket to a Benz. You getting money, now you start losing friends. They turn to an enemy. 10 piece, 3D, no sleep. One more line, kept in my heart. I've been a T, but it look like taking a knee. You got a Percocet, auntie?
You got a Percocet, auntie?
That was Bomity. That shit's big though. That shit went right with the shit too. Let's see. Boom. Let's go through these comments right here. You get some love from somebody out of the Bay, I think.
Comments?
Boom. Yeah, they said. She said he sounds a little like P Nutty the P.
You sound like Juice Lead the P.
Y'all talking my language. Facts.
P.
One of the most hated professions.
Oh, doing sandals.
You gotta feel me. These boyfriends / tennis shoe gangster pimps out here making the game look bad.
On Jesus Sandals.
It takes hard work, dedication, and trust from all parties.
On Jesus Sandals. She knows what she talking about.
Yada and that's a slapper.
Oh, okay. We doing our greatest hits. Yada she cracker.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, boom. What I'm gonna say is how would I be able to pull up you said I have to go to that streaming site, huh, to pull up
Which
a clip
one?
of the trailer for the show?
Which one you wanna part one, part two? Part
It's
one
a
on Tubi.
Yeah, we could just do part one. I could just look it up
Are
on
you on
Tubi.
Tubi? You can look it up on Tubi. You go to Tubi. Can Tubi pop up on here?
Yeah, I could do it all, bro.
Oh, Tubi. You want to see part one or part two?
Shit, we could do both. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to, whatever you want to show, P.
We doing our greatest hits. You can do a part one. You let them know how we got this shit started.
Show me. Let's see. Let me see.
What I look like taking a knee?
It might go. We gonna put it right here. I'm trying to find him. I think it might be at the bottom, or I might have spelled him wrong, huh? Let me see.
Type in pimp, and nigga, you gonna see it, nigga. Just type in pimp, nigga. And you gonna see it's gonna be the first thing that pop up on Tubi, man. Just type in pimp. You gonna see a bitch on a pink cover. It said Pimpville U.S.A, man.
Yeah, right here.
Just type in pimp, man. You know what I mean? On the first pop up on Tubi, man.
Yeah, this right here, man.
Pimpville U.S.A, man. Doing my greatest hits, man. Yeah, I like this movie shit. You know what I mean? It pays more than the music. I can say that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Here, let me pull it up on screen. You say it pays more than rapping?
Yeah, you got more commercials. I mean, a
Okay.
song on Spotify, you know what I mean? You got one commercial every 5 songs. In the movie, you got 5 commercials, you know what I mean? And in one movie, you know what I mean? And the song on YouTube, one commercial come on before it? You got
Yeah.
you got
That
20
shit.
commercials in a movie.
Okay, boom. We'll just do like how many minutes you want to do of it? I know you don't want to do the whole little whoopty, so we can do like it's whatever.
Yeah, greatest hit.
I'm retired, but guess what? If they give me some thousands, I'm pulling it over. Actually, for a band.
And there goes Sharp right there.
Over to Chicago, over to Miami, 20 years of this motherfucking shit, man. Y'all see what it is, 20 years of this motherfucking shit.
Shout out to Sharp the P, man.
Hey, when we turned out, what's no internet? When we turned out, man, we had to get it from concrete, man. What's your height on this? I don't talk too much about it, man, but still gonna pull my I'm talking about it. I'm documenting about it.
Yeah, being here, man. The International Players Ball 2022, man. Yeah, man. We ain't playing around here in San Diego, California, man. You already know what SD stand for. Yeah, man. Stadium. You understand me? Yeah. Niggas didn't know, man. I'm going to say it a million times, times two. Understand me? But, yeah, we out here, though, man. Definitely out there. And we out your bitch.
Hey man, niggas know what it is, man. Hey man, I'm just trying to stay afloat like a motor bro, man. I'm just trying to make it make sense like a motherfucking laundry, man. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, you feel me? I'm about to spark up this wood, you feel what I'm saying? And knock me a bitch that I could, yeah. You heard? Hey, listen.
This is RIP Kenny Red last Players Ball.
You're buying $10,000.
Matter of fact, fast forwarded to the actual ball when they pass them trophies.
Okay, so what that would be like what, like maybe it's like 10 minutes in, 20 minutes in?
20. How you see 20?
Oh, like right here, because this I think this is when you
more
guys
30 minutes. More. No, look back up. Yeah,
right here.
Yeah. I'm calling that short.
Gonna go through it.
You know how I feel, though. Hell yeah, I know how you feel, man. You know how I feel, though, man.
What's up, that boy?
My fault, though. Hold on.
You gotta go through it to get to it. It's okay, man. Today, it's okay to
Get some bitches. You don't have to.
It is okay to bump your head because it just lets you know that you're alive and well.
Thank you. On Jesus,
It lets you know you're alive and well, man.
on Jesus and them and everybody. For real, man. It's a real thing, man.
I'm happy that y'all, man, stay your ass up. You dig what I'm saying? Show just motherfucking started down here, man. This motherfucker shining. You know, what's up, man?
This is RIP Kenny Red last Players Ball.
Long live Kenny Red.
Shit is crazy.
Still down around this year, 20 years deep in the game, nigga. Not here for the thing, man. Cause I got bills to pay though, man. And the bitch gonna pay it. You know what I mean? So man, you better let them know, man. We been around here for that. Hey, man, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? On that E1
It's crazy how many legendary people is in this in my movies. Period.
I'm looking good as a motherfucker, right? With the cameraman.
Shit, all elite people.
Gotta check them out.
Yeah, I really got some major. You know what I mean? Good man. And toes. Yeah, we live. We always live because it's not no switch, man. It's always on, bro. It's always pimp. You know what I mean? So you could just turn on, you going to motherfucking shit.
I'm the voice inside your head.
And while you're talking, gotta get that
money. Yeah, them ads. That's how you. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you need that money.
Rick.
Get these Cheetos real quick.
And once you start listening to me, it's gonna be hard to stop.
Get them Cheetos real quick.
I'm about to ask you, like, how hard is it to get a show on Tubi?
All that
if
shit.
you don't have the right auto coverage, the cost of this could hit you out of nowhere. So get all
I'm signed with, like I said, I'm signed with Universal Music Group. Shout out to Bungalow Records. Shout out to
When
Barring
surprise
at Bungalow
breakdowns
Records.
happen, American Home Shield will
First
be there
motherfucker
to fix
that
or
laced my
replace
little
parts of the
boots.
systems
You know what I
and
mean?
appliances you rely on every day.
You know what I mean? Said
They help protect your time and money by
he said,
connecting you with qualified pros
and
and
then
helping pay for covered repairs
you
or
make some
replacements.
money.
AHS
I said,
offers
man, I'm trying to get
flexible
on
and
Netflix
affordable
and Hulu.
plans for every
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
Sign up today and get 50%
they didn't
off.
accept it.
Visit
So he says,
AHS.com or
man,
call 833-PLAN-AHS for this limited time
Did you get
offer.
on Tubi and
Today, let's stand with Bear, the number one.
I'm like, hey,
Oh,
you
we're
know
finally
what I mean?
standing
Amazon. You
today.
see what I mean? I'm like,
Today,
all right, so I look it up. You know what I mean? See what the shit is, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One day I'm with this little foot in there, and she in her phone all day watching movies. I said, bitch, what is that? She says Tubi. I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, my man, you know, he just tell me about some shit like that, right? You know? So I'm like, oh, hey, that maybe that Tubi might be real, and then it's free. You know what I mean? So like, it's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of Hispanics and African Americans fuck with it, right?
Yeah, 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 for sure.
So yeah, I was like, boom. So I had a chance to fuck around and get on and you know tap in and get grandfathered in. So yeah, but no, you have to fucking they're up to down 70 million to 100 million monthly fucking viewers on
Yeah, no,
Tubi.
for sure. I was gonna say like Tubi probably is more viewed than Netflix or Hulu just because of the said fact that it's free and they have a lot of the new movies drop like almost every day. They have a new movie dropping on there.
I know they got 100 million, about 70 to 100 million monthly viewers. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And
Yeah, no,
that's
for
a
sure.
lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. So we gonna keep that shit boomlating. You know what I mean? So that's where our new we got. That's where basically our whole series of Pimpville USA. You know what I mean? Is you know what I mean? Is broadcasting that thing on that Tubi tag. We promoting it. Tubi and other platforms. YouTube, Fire, you know all this shit.
Yeah, 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 no, for sure.
Pimpville USA is gonna have different platforms. So it's Tubi. Yeah, I had a chance to go to Tubi when it was still blowing up, when it was first blowing up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, like that.
When I was on Tubi, they had I think like 20 million monthly viewers. You know what I mean? So they was begging
Okay.
for independent filmmakers. They was begging for content. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They needed it. You know, they didn't have the money to ask Netflix to make their own original content, so they had to fuck with independent filmmakers, and they got a large amount of that catalog and fan base from that. Now, you know what I mean? They're being more selective about independent content they're picking up, and they're making their own original content. You know what I mean? Instead of using they just they switching it down.
yeah, no, for sure. They definitely you kind of have more growth. Like you said, at first they were just like a beginning startup network trying to get content creator. I mean, like people like like you said, content creator, people for content, documentaries and stuff like that. You know, now they're kind of got up there.
Yeah, they doing their greatest hits. I ain't gonna lie, they doing their greatest hits. Tiny do clack 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 clack. That's my guy Tiny do from Wrong Kind. Well, not Wrong Kind, but Cherry Check Gang.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yep.
I'm still on that nigga bitch's head. Yeah, they hate us, man. Yeah, they ain't gonna let up on the bitch's head, though, man. For real, we still knocking these niggas off, man. Yeah, yeah. 3 decades in, though. Yeah, still going. Still going, man.
This nigga in yellow was hating so bad, bro.
Yeah, I could tell Blow was
Hating
kind of
bad.
looking at you some
The
type of
nigga in
way.
yellow
See?
was hating hard.
Yeah.
His bitches was all in my video. You should have slapped them bitches. Nigga, don't look at me rolling your eyes.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for, man. Yeah, man. I wonder what's going on with my gang, man. Yeah, I took a little vacation and came back, man. These hoes acting different and shit, man.
Yeah, he keep turning over and looking at you.
And look at this bitch. You see that hoe is looking at my bitch.
Come on, cheers to now. Look at all that. We in here. What we in line for? What's up? Where let's go? Where you at? Hey. Huh? Huh? I feel coming this out right now.
This was at the
Oh, okay.
Wildin' Out. Nick Cannon from San Diego. He had a restaurant in San Diego called Wildin' Out.
Okay.
And Nick
For
Cannon,
sure.
he's from Scandalous, where Pimp C's from.
Oh,
So
okay. I didn't even know that. I mean, I
Yes.
know Nick's from the Biddy and shit, but I didn't know.
Hey, where said he from? He's from Scandalous. Everybody out and about, you know what I mean, with their best threads, you know what I mean, doing their greatest hits, you know what I mean, boom, later
Yeah,
their
yeah,
heads.
yeah.
Man.
Nah, for sure.
It's $1 million, it's about a couple $1 million in that room,
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
in jury alone.
I know them suits cost something too, though.
What? Come on, man.
Hell yeah.
My outfit alone probably $3,000. Shouts out to Express. Me and Mr. Fab. Oh, guy.
Okay. Oh, for sure.
How
Yeah,
you
a lot
just
of
keeping
legends in
it
the
busy?
building. For sure, for sure.
Yeah, I'm fresh out. You know what I mean? I'm getting nothing but love. That's why everybody who coming up to me, giving me big hugs and high fives. They ain't seen the legend in quite some time. You understand me? You know what I mean? And they know I'm back. And they know when I come back, free my nigga Mac Mall. That's Mr. Gingerbread Man. OG Gingerbread Man was on the run from the feds for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years, man. My nigga Mac Wall, man, was on the run for the feds for 5 years. He gave me motivation to go on the run every year. Said, you still out? I could do it.
Nah, hell yeah, shit. Maneuver, wiggle.
So it was a 3-day weekend. You see Filthy Rich
Yeah,
performing.
I seen Filthy Rich right there.
It was a 3-day weekend. This is Saturday. On Friday, Sugar Free and KT Foreign and Yabi performed on Friday. That was a meet and greet. Saturday, it's a 3-day event. Saturday was the actual award and ceremony event with performance with Filthy Rich. And Silky Slim won this award. And then Saturday was the wind down. And Nick Cannon pulled up and we had performances with 50 Cent.
Okay.
He performed, you know what I mean? So, everybody comes down to show love. Most of these people do it for free or too much or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For
yeah, yeah.
Max Down One birthday, it's his birthday. You know what I mean? He does it every year. So they do it, just to pay homage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For an
yeah, yeah.
individual that was once in the game, did it at his peak. You know what I mean? And retired on top. You know what I mean? And so we pay homage to a legend every year. Right now, this is for Kenny Red and Pimp C's birthday because Don Juan was in the hospital during his birthday, couldn't
Okay.
have it. So right now, this is Kenny Red's birthday and Pimp C's birthday, and this is Kenny Red actual last words. Well, he passed after this. Fast forward it to the end.
Okay.
Yeah, big 3-day event. Like, man, $50,000, $100,000 event.
Yeah, no, it looks like it. For sure, for sure.
Fast forward it to the end.
Got you. Like right here?
When they pass out them trophies. Yeah. Yeah, pass out trophies. That's Afro, man.
Yeah, I see Afro Man. Yeah, yeah, man.
What's going on, San Diego? Yeah, man. Hey, this ain't no joke. This ain't no gimmick. We gotta get paid after the band.
Yeah.
Love y'all, San Diego. Right. Love y'all, man. I'm not deserving of that, man. Hey, I got an honorary play or something, man. All right, player. All right.
Don't fight without Aaron.
You deserve it. All right, player.
What they say about the dope era?
Hey, up. Hey, up.
see it's like celebrities get awards and stuff like that, not actual, you know what I mean? Like, pimps or nothing like that. You know what I mean? You get
Yeah,
awards
yeah,
for
yeah,
doing
yeah,
successful, you know what I mean? You had a good year in music. You know what I mean? You had a good year in filmmaking. You had a good year in doing whatever your thing is. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You're a party promoter. You know what I mean? You get a trophy. You know what I mean? You're an actor. You get a trophy. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? For being
Mm-hmm.
a successful individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? For
No, for
basically
sure.
for coming out the life and going legit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You get a trophy. You took
Yeah, yeah,
something and you
yeah.
did something positive. You're not just, you know what I mean? Exploited and pimping or
Mm-hmm.
hoeing. You know what I mean? You took the game and
You
it was
elevated from the
legit. You
game,
know what I mean?
basically. You
You get a
elevated from the
trophy.
game.
Yeah, you elevated from the game. You get a trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Turning
for
your
sure.
life around.
So is that kind of like what Pimpin' Ken does for that HHE awards? That's the same type of
Right,
thing.
right, right, right. Same type of thing. Same type of thing. You know what I mean? Compliment individuals that's doing successful. You know what I mean? In the community.
We appreciate everybody coming out. My young nigga Pimpsy put it together for our birthday and everything. Hey, I turned 61 today. Today's my birthday.
For real.
Bishop was in the hospital, so he couldn't have his party the way he wanted to. So Pimpsy had his birthday, the MVP. Guess what? We a family. We just doing this to do it. We know we're gonna have the critics and all that, but guess what? Though we making the best out of it. Pimpsy, we love you for what you done done, homie, and everything. Pimpsy. Hollywood division. Hollywood division. I love you niggas, man. Y'all my young niggas, man. Give me that music. Hey. We got it. Where's the humpster?
A lot of legendary people in the crowd, man.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing it.
Everybody is somebody.
Hold up. This is what I want to say.
It's like a party of the who's who.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Everybody high in the entertainment industry.
Hey, y'all hold
A
up.
lot, yeah, a lot of known faces in the industry for sure.
This trophy is from the airway to our friend, the hustler that keep us laughing. Anybody that follow airway? Hey. At the airway page from Mr. Fab and everything, we want to get this to the hustler this year, even though he didn't make it, he run up, but we're going to give you the Pimp of the Year. Y'all want to know who the Pimp of the Year is? If these niggas shut up, they'll know who the Pimp of the Year is. Hey, check this out so y'all can hear me. Let this man have his moment because we ain't doing it how we go. Let this man have his moment. Amen. Hey, this is a young nigga I watched that come up and grow up and paid attention. He had his flaws like everybody else doing everything, but I watched him to do his thing. I went to Bishop and I went to Pimp everything because it ain't just my thing, it ain't just their thing. It's a family thing and everything. And I went to them and told them that I feel like this man deserves it because I've been watching him putting his work in. You know what I'm saying? He real humble. He pay attention and everything, and he a good nigga. You know what I'm saying? And he from the Hollywood division. You know what I'm saying? So I want to present this Pimp of the Year to my friend and my nephew and my everything. You know what I'm saying? Because he a good nigga. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Silky Slim, come get your baby.
Nah, for sure, P. Shit, we can leave it right here if you want to, bro. I ain't trying to take too much of your time or nothing, P.
Shit, we active, man. It's all on you, P. I'm over here doing my greatest hits. You feel me?
Okay,
You
for sure.
supposed
Yeah,
to,
we'll just let this end, and then
yeah,
we'll
we
watch
doing
a
our
little bit
greatest
of
hits.
part two, and then we'll just end it like that.
Yeah, we do our greatest hits.
For sure.
Seems like everyone's going
There
to.
go that money again.
Let me show you
Yeah,
how it's done.
and yeah, that was
Yep,
motherfucking
that
Silky
Nashville
Slim. He
hot
won
sweet
that.
meat is here on my
Yeah. No, I was
100% all
hearing
white
that.
meat
That was
popcorn
sick as
chicken
slim.
starting at $6.99. Tastes good
You
in
won
your
that trophy.
country. Get so much more.
You did good.
Known
You won
for
that trophy.
sharing what you love.
Yeah, no, for sure. But that's
No
just
one
love,
wants to
like
be
you said. It's
known
just
for
love. You
cancer,
feel me?
but a
Yeah,
treatment can be.
you
Keytruda is
good,
known
man.
to
It's
treat
good that we
cancer.
motherfuckers can
FDA
take shit.
approved
You know
for
what I mean?
18
And
types
turn
of
it
cancer,
around. And you know what I mean?
including
And
certain
Yeah.
early
try to do
stage
something
cancers.
positive and stay.
One of
Stay
those
down. That's
cancers
really
is
what it's all
triple
about.
negative
Staying
breast
down.
Yeah,
cancer.
that part.
Keytruda may be used with
Nah, for sure.
chemotherapy medicines as treatment before surgery and then continued alone after surgery when you have early
Like you
stage
said,
breast
just paying
cancer
homage
and are at
to,
high
to,
risk
to,
of
to the ones
death.
who, paved the way
Keytruda can
in the
cause your
game
immune
and
system to attack
got out
different parts
and
of your body
did something
during or
positive with
after
it.
treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have
Okay,
cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, headache, light
What
sensitivity,
type of
eye
Bali they got over
problems,
there in
irregular
Miami? You
heartbeat,
smoking some
extreme
dope?
tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion, memory problems, persistent
All
or
right.
severe muscle pain
Like
or
to see.
weakness, muscle cramps, fever, rash, itching or
It
flushing.
passed.
There may be other side effects. Tell your doctor about
So,
other
hey.
health
Okay.
conditions, including
Now they
immune and
got,
nervous
you
system
know what I mean?
problems,
They got a
such as
couple
Crohn's,
niggas.
ulcerative
My
colitis,
nigga Kev the
lupus, or
Weed Man.
myasthenia gravis, or Guillain-Barré
He got
syndrome, an organ,
gas.
tissue, or stem cell
Yeah,
transplant,
some
or
heme.
receive chest
He
radiation.
got heme.
Keytruda can harm your unborn baby.
He got heme. He got heme for real.
Keytruda is an immunotherapy and is also being studied in hundreds of
Yeah,
clinical
I only been
trials,
out to Miami
exploring
like
ways
once
to
or
treat
twice. I didn't
even
really get
more
to
types
smoke
of
like that
cancer.
out there. Shit, bless.
It's
So that's why
true.
I asked.
Keytruda.
Right.
See all the types of cancer Keytruda is known for at keytruda.com
Yeah, I've
and
lived
ask your
out here for
doctor
a
if
while.
Keytruda could be
I
right for
lived
you.
I lived out here for like a year or two.
When
Okay.
surprise
I
breakdowns
moved back,
happen,
moved back
American
out
Home
here.
Shield will be there to fix or replace parts of the systems and appliances you rely on every day. They help protect your time and money
That
by
shit
connecting
smooth
you
out
with
there.
qualified pros and
Love it.
helping pay for
It's just
covered
different.
repairs or replacements.
Yeah.
Different breath, fresh
AHS
air.
offers
You know what I mean?
flexible and affordable plans for every home.
Did
Sign up
something
today
different.
and get
Yeah.
50% off. Visit ahs.com
Did from
or
day
call
though.
833-PLAN-AHS
I'm used to it.
for this limited time
So it's not
offer.
nothing new. It's something
Don't
new.
miss the Memorial Day savings going on
No,
Different.
now
for
at
sure.
Spring Honda Loma
Keep me
Linda.
alive.
It's the perfect time
Yeah,
to
yeah,
save
yeah.
big on a new Honda Civic, Accord, or CRV. Our knowledgeable salespeople are always on hand to answer any of your questions. Ask us about Spring Honda's easy financing programs. Plus, your Honda is backed by the expertise of Spring Honda's highly trained service department. Come see the Civic, Accord, or CRV and take advantage of Memorial Day savings now at Spring Honda, 10 Freeway at the Tippecanoe exit, Loma Linda.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
He did that, man. For sure, for sure. One second, real quick, P. Be right back.
Pimp of the motherfucking year. Mr. Motherfucking Silky Slick.
Hey man, this is from us to you. And I ain't saying just from us, this is from all of us and everything. You know what I'm saying? And I think we made a good decision and everything.
PGO to the world blow.
Congratulations, Silky Slim.
Yeah, go to part 2. Oh shit. Yeah, here we go.
I know I never get a Grammy, but I got the motherfucking belt. Hey, hold on. I want to say something.
Hey, is this time for the say something? Hey, pivot back there, let him speak.
I appreciate being recognized by gentlemen that I grew up looking up to. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know what I mean. FAB. Yeah, that's bad.
So for the nigga up in this motherfucker trying to get this belt, maybe next year. Hey, one more thing on the count of 3. PTO to the world blow. PTO to the world blow.
All right.
PTO to the world blow.
Hey! All right, we gotta move right along. We gotta get out here. We got to stand by your man. Stand by your man.
Huh? Got purpose, honestly.
Nigga made it back home. Bring the belt home.
Bro.
Oh, they gonna have to hear about this all year. Let's go.
NFP. You get this here, it's a lot of money involved. Y'all got to step up and follow the bishop and follow us, because we got something going on. Y'all got to pay attention to the monkey. In the 8, Chase on the move. Just remember, to Bishop Don Magic One. Shut. Hey, I want my friend. Come on, my friend Charles. We're going to take some pictures. The picture man, where he at? Come on, Charles. Y'all come on up here in church. We're going to hold this together.
Don't miss the opportunity.
Don't miss the opportunity.
This is up and coming. This is the blessed age for bringing church to the metaverse. I couldn't do it without the Don Bishop. The Don and me were leading the way. We're gonna tell you how.
Hey, one more, and we done. Hey, check this out.
Where can I find your films? On Tubi. What was the other one?
Go to the other one. Go to your Roku, Fire Stick, whatever you download your apps, your movie apps, and download Folsom TV. It's a movie app.
Okay. You said it's a Folsom?
Yeah, FAW.
Okay. FAW. All right. So Folsom
FO.
TV, and then
Awesome. Then when you download it, takes like 2 minutes, and then fucking I just type in Pimpville USA.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, 'cause she was asking. Boom. You want me to go to the next one, P, or
Yeah, go to
it's
the
gonna
next
be
one. Get a
over?
little
Okay,
further.
for
Yeah,
sure.
next one. Gotta go to the next one. You gotta give a little, you know what I mean? Gotta give a little
Yeah,
bird's
yeah, yeah.
eye. Yeah, that's that part 1 right there on Tubi. You know what I mean? Now go to Folsom. Folsom TV guys, part 1, 2, and part 3 is supposed to be on there. I want to say later this month. Part 3 is gonna be on there. So Folsom TV has part 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, for sure. It's FAW. What was it?
FAWSOME.
All right. TV. Yep, I see it right here. Boom.
Yeah, that's right.
Believe
Boom.
that.
It's one of the top streaming channels on fucking, OTT platforms on fucking Roku, Fire Stick, and all that
Okay.
shit.
Okay. And then just put in
Smart
pimp again. It should
TVs.
just pop up.
Pimpville. Pimpville.
All right. Yep. I see it right here.
It's part 1 and part 2.
Yep. I got it. Yep. I'm going to play part 2.
Now, part 2 and 3, reason why I like part 2 and 3 is because I edited myself. Part 1, yeah, it was a different filmmaker. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Shouts out to Pharaoh. You know what I mean? He did his greatest hits on part 1. You know what I mean? I did the cover. Shouts out to 619 Link Link on the cover. And now part fucking 2, you know what I mean? I went into the, because ever since the YouTube era, like I was editing my own videos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cameraman and editing, you know what I mean? Making my
Mhm.
own little mini documentaries in the hood and shit like that. So, you know what I mean? I always did it, you know what I mean? It just in different era. We had the DVDs and shit. Now it's streaming. So it's like much easier, much jubier, we're doing our greatest hits. So I edit part 2 and I edit part 3 myself. And I edit part 4. You know, I get a little bit of help, but basically part 1, 2, and 3. Part 2, 3, and 4 I edit myself. But yeah, here we go.
Okay. So boom. So basically, this one you kind of got your hands more behind.
Involved. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Involved.
yeah. We. I took. You know, what I mean, I read the reviews and for part 1. You know, what I mean, the likes, the dislikes. You know, what I mean, and the critics and stuff like that. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
and I took it in. You know what I mean, and then I sat back. You know what I mean, and I made the movie that they wanted that they asked for.
Okay. Boom. Boom. Let's get into it. Let me put the volume.
This little. Most of this footage is me on the run.
Okay.
Oh yeah, majority of my movies I was on the run. Part 1, 2, like when you see me, I was like I was on the run.
Okay. So this is before you went down there.
Yeah, something like that.
Deontay and all that. Yeah. Put me in there with that ocean nigga. On scene.
Andre. Y'all can have it.
This is my favorite person on the team.
We make the history. I'm telling you.
This is my favorite nigga. We got no songs together, nigga. That's how I know.
Yeah, hey, but you done had a couple hoes that I done had.
This is my favorite nigga.
And I done had a couple hoes that you don't have. You know what I mean?
That's how the song works. That's how the song works. Look at it. Make sure that song. Look at what my man be stepping on. That boy be stepping for like a whole month straight. Nigga, this is not re-rock. He ain't re-rocking no outfit.
I know right there, man.
He come call. And look at that. Look at Smacky out there.
I didn't go
Extra shots on that.
You know what I mean? I didn't save up for this here shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
The past was like
He really wanted him though.
I was saving up for this here shit.
Yo, what's good, bro?
I'm over here by the on this side by this little I'll show you my location for you to know about exact pinpoint. It's like some lights in Chicago.
Buckram, let me see.
Damn, I was saving up for this here shit.
Over here, 69 the big man over there after smoke time,
Let
man.
me see. Well.
Yeah, red carpet
corporate Vegas strip. She got escort. Couldn't join the program because she just can't afford it. Main Street to Roosevelt, you can stump for it. If you ain't get stumped.
Hey, man, you know what I mean? It's your boy JuiceLee, man. Pimpville U.S.A, man. We out here on this big and all this shit, man. Over here, 69 the big, man. Over there at this smoke shop, man, where all the pimps be chopping at, you know what I mean? Enjoy their greatest hits. This is where you going to listen to some Pimp Hop back. Right here on this corner, Pimp Hop is a genre. You know how you got, like, you got trap music, you got drill music, you got your music, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you got Pimp Hop. You know?
Damn, the connection is bubble. Let me see. You try to see about refreshing. Go right here.
Chopping at, you know what I mean? Enjoy their greatest hits. This is where you gonna listen to some Pimp Hop back. Right here on this corner, Pimp Hop is a genre. You know how you got like you got trap.
Yeah, that shit was tripping low key, P.
Music, you got your music, blah blah blah. Okay. Well, you got Pimp Hop, you know what I mean? That's for 304. You know what I mean? They call them in 304s and 16s, you know what I mean? That's the slang term that they use around here, 304s and 16. They got Pimp Hop, and basically they got their own music they listen to, that they get dressed to, that they, when they at work, they do their greatest hits to, you know what I mean? That shit they get motivated to, you know what I mean? You got a lot of squares that listen to this Pimp Hop shit, you know what I mean? Get motivates them, it gets them going, you know what I mean? Just like you don't gotta be a killer to listen to drill music, you know what I mean? Just like the way it sounds. You don't gotta be a 304 or 16 to listen to some hip hop, you know what I mean? You just gotta like how it sounds. Well, that's the new genre that's growing up. You know what I mean? That's the new wave. That's the new band. That's what everybody off with that's going viral. We started off. I want to say the pioneer rappers in the game would be like rappers like Too Short, Mac Dre, Sugar Free. You know what I mean? They was game related back in the day. You know what I mean? They used to, you know, talk about, you know what I mean? Pop, 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 pop. You know what I mean? About, you know, the music that was game related. You know what I mean? And but they didn't have a genre for it, you know what I mean? So I came, and when I was doing music, you know what I mean, and I coined the term hip hop, you know what I mean? I was like, we need our own genre, you know what I mean? You know, we can't be listening to trap music when our bitches get dressed. We gotta have something for our little Judies to get dressed to, or they allow them to choose up to one of these go-boys. You understand me? So check this out. So I coined hip hop, and we started pushing it. You know what I mean? Start pushing it, and then next thing you know, we turned out. You know what I mean? Hundreds of rappers springed everywhere. So they say, what's up, beautiful? Hey, man, we out here on Figueroa, man. We doing a random interview with this gorgeous mama, man.
We're in LA right now. We're on Figueroa right now.
You go ask us some questions.
Yeah.
Are you from here?
San Bernardino.
Oh, okay,
so
sick.
It's like an hour away from here. It's not too far.
Okay, nice. Is this your like block or something, or?
No, I mean, I just be walking right here.
Yeah, it's just totally random, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a long street, like all the way.
Where does it start? It starts because like.
From the 60s all the way to the 100s.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's a few blocks. It's pretty far.
Okay, bet.
How long you been listening to Pimp Hop? When the first time you heard of like Pimp Hop?
Probably since like middle school, I would say.
Middle school?
Yeah, I would say middle school, like Little Dirk and like all of that. Like I said, or you like what is it, Young Thug and like stuff like that. You know, cheesy and stuff
When
like
did you start listening to Pimp music?
I would say like 16. I started listening to like
Pimp music.
yeah. Who was it? I don't know. What was it? Catchy the Great and like stuff like that. Draco and stuff like that.
Did that make you want to turn out? Did
a little bit, you know, the music hypes you up. Music always. And now you have like Siete Gang and like all of those. It should be like, you know, Young Ez, you know, all of those. Make it seem interesting. They make you want to.
It make you want to go motivated. It make you want to go get.
Yeah, go calm down. You know.
You get real stuff down. Okay, you got you hit. You gonna hear right here on this street on Fig. You know what I mean? This is where you test your music out. You know what I mean? On Pimp Hop. You know what I mean? These lovely ladies. You know what I mean? And that fishnet. You know what I mean? Where bumping your shit. You know what I mean? While they at work. You know what I mean? They got their little earpods on, doing their greatest hits. You know you gotta slap. You know you gotta slap. You know what I mean? What you listen to? You know what I mean? What type of music you out there listening to, man? What you get dressed to and shit like that, man?
What I listen to?
Yeah.
I listen to like Young X,
Right. You know. R3. Who's your favorite out of all of them? Who you listen to?
My favorite?
Yeah.
I would say Bino.
Bino. What song he got right now? I don't know who Bino is.
You don't know who that is?
Bino? No, I don't know who that is.
I like Balloon.
Balloon? Okay. What's the hottest song we got with KT right now?
I don't know. He has a lot. I don't know.
What is one of your favorite songs?
I don't know.
How long you How long you been in the game?
Like
10 years. Okay.
No.
2 years. I'm about to say, God, 10 years is better time.
I'm a Figueroa, and yeah, come with me to dance. Come by.
Check it out. We direct the traffic around.
But our rap this bag look like record deals. How she in pocket checking in. Yeah, keep it playing when you sign up. I'm only in the free fees, you got them tied up. She indecisive, yeah, she need to make some.
Hi, ladies. How y'all doing today, man? The streets, you know what I mean? It was only right that we had to set our females down on the streets because that's where we came from, the concrete, you know what I mean? Right here, you know what I mean? So we're going to set our bitch where we came down from, you know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean? After a while, you know what I mean? You go from the streets to viral to clubs, you know what I mean? There's more ways to skin a cat, right? Around here, man, the bitch that let me go. Heels, lingerie, and accessories, man, you know what I mean? This is where we at, man. After a while, you know what I mean? The point of the game is to turn illegal money into legit money. So you're going to take them little bread sticks, you know what I mean? You might open up, you do a little sluts, you know what I mean? And get you some toe gear, you know what I mean? And make sure you set it down on the popping this track, you can motherfucker fine, you know what I mean? And you gonna get you some Cheetos, you know what I mean? For real, you know what I mean? So all you tired toes, you ain't got an idea, you know what I mean? You'll open up a little yada, feel me? And set it down, you know what I mean? On the rise of my dad. So Pimp Hop came along, you know what I mean? It was especially combating everything else out here, you know what I mean? And that's what's taking over now, you know what I mean? Not trap music, not drill music, you know what I mean? Not this scam pop, Pimp Hop, you know what I mean? That's what's going viral. That's what everybody listens to. That's where all the talent is at, you know what I mean? And it got pioneered, you know what I mean? For the boy CeoJuicelee, the Fresh Prince from San Diego division, you know what I mean? I pioneered it. I started, you know what I mean? I had the influence, you know what I mean? And that's when we got popping here. I got it popping and shit. Sugar Free, one of the most notable artists. Now we got KT Corner, we got Jeff Gang Yabby, we got Young Gang, we got Filthy Rich. You know what I mean? The list goes on and on. Honestly, what made me start rapping type shit, you know what I mean? It was honestly just like instinct type shit. You feel me? Fucking around with the homies ain't too much shit to do in the league. You know what I mean? You playing sports or you rapping, you doing music. You know what I mean? Ain't too many.
Did you know that winning actually changes the way your brain works? They call it the winner effect. Are you crazy?
Can you get more of these?
You queefing, yeah?
Hey, I got your money, don't you worry. I said,
Watch free, only on Fossum.
Well done, keep that up. Keep turning. How long will it take? It's coming.
What's your problem?
Can somebody help me?
You gotta concentrate.
Oh.
Stress. It's unforgettable.
In order to cross waters that no American sub has ever crossed before.
Ship ready, solution ready, weapon ready, fire!
It's not about your side or my side. This is about our future.
Watch free on Fossum.
Whole bunch of ads, man. Damn. More ads than Tubi.
options for black youth. We don't want to be scientists and shit like that. Ain't no such thing as being TikTokers and shit back then. So whether you doing sports or you doing music back then, you know what I mean? And shit, you know what I mean? I thought I had some talents, you know what I mean? And it's just the subjects that I was rapping about was close-minded because I didn't have too much to rap about. I only rap about what was around me. And what was around me was some motherfucking gifted. I'm talking about left and right, man. As soon as I go out the door, down the street, you know what I mean? So my older homies and everybody, they was pimps and hoes and family members and all types of shit. They was pimping, so I didn't have too much to rap about. What's up, pimping and hoeing? And then when it came to mainstream and on the radio and on doing music, hey, nobody was rapping about what I was doing. You know what I mean? It wasn't nobody that I could really relate to. You have Cheap and Free, but it didn't have too many options of motherfuckers I had to relate to. So I became the rapper that I wanted to motherfucking hear, and it also inspired other motherfuckers to become the rapper, you know what I mean, that they are today, you know what I mean? Spitting this pimp hop shit. If it wasn't for Juice Lee, a lot of niggas want to have careers, you know what I mean, in this music shit, you know what I mean? Or topics even rap about, because I made it cool. I'm rapping about pimp hop when motherfuckers said it wasn't cool, and they said, Juice Lee, all you talk about is the yimping, you need to talk about something else. I said, I don't got nothing else to talk about because I don't know nothing else. The only thing I know is two things, man. I'm getting out two things, selling butt and selling butt. I'm not getting out nothing else, you know what I mean? So I'm going after this hip hop shit, you know what I mean? Because for what, you know what I mean? It's physical therapy, you know what I mean? And also, keep me with it in. Shit. You know what I mean? For real though. You know what I mean? San Diego, California, all the way to Phoenix, all the way to the Bay Area, all the way goddamn to Arizona, all the way goddamn to motherfucking Denver, all that. You know what I mean? City, state to state, man. We out here, man, bumping that motherfucking pimp hop all the way down to New York. You know what I mean? All the way down to motherfucking Miami, and a city that you can go to that they ain't out here listening to that hip hop. If you ain't know what it is, you know what I mean? Now you know what it is. You know what I mean? That jungle juice, you know what I mean? Hey, Cavassier is a way better cognac than motherfucking Hennessy than a juice and all that motherfucking shit. That ain't the truth. Cavassier was the best motherfucking cognac, and they say no marketing in the promotion. I'm just letting y'all know that, right? Cognac is better motherfucking, you know what I mean? Cavassier is better cognac than the rest of these motherfuckers.
And got her sights up.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? We at the Players Ball, man. You know what I'm saying? 722, man. You know what I mean? Your kid Fetty Mac, man. I got my niggas Yabi in the house, man. I got the pros in the building, man. Sugar Free, Drew Down. You know what I'm saying? My nigga Von Dunn in here, man. You know what I'm saying? I got my kid Mo in the back, man. You know what I'm saying? We just try to make it happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned. It's finna be dope. Real dope. All right, I'll be back.
It's a different place like the team. They just put this little picture, like this is new shit. I don't know if niggas is tagging my back, you know what I mean? I don't know about my back. Niggas gonna tag something. They need to put pin on these walls, man. For real, these walls will talk, man. They gonna say Juice Lee, man. You thank you kindly. You motherfuckers should give me a percentage. You know what I mean? For real. They need to give me a percentage, 10% percentage. You know what I mean? So I got this shit cracking. You know what I mean? That's where we started from, man. Together, man. Look at this shit, man. Hole in the wall hotels, man. You know, these motherfucking roaches calling on the walls and all types of shit, man. This is where I started from, man. I started from the bottom, man. I started from nothing, man. I didn't have shit but the bitch to believe in me, man. This is where I came from, man. I can show you where I'm at now, too, man. I was luxurious, man. You know what I mean? Luxury, man. Designers and shit, man. I didn't start off like that, man. I started from right here, man, and a damn bitch to believe in my pimping, man. That's all I have, man. It's some game in the name, man. You know, that's all I have, man.
Man, we out here, stop playing, man. You feel me? Fuck on friends, turn that bitch up, stop playing.
Put them lights up! Put them lights on and keep it! I think they ready for you guys to do that shit! Everyone that shit, Playboy! Hey, my bad. We did this on now.
They say if you can make it in New York City, you can make it anywhere. The sad truth is that a lot of niggas live in New York City, but they still didn't make it. Like, we from the bottom. I remember my mom's came in the crib one day and she said, listen, man, I did something. It wasn't illegal, but we going to Disney World. I don't know what the fuck she did. I know she working 9 to 5. I know the bills was late. But I know we was going to motherfucking Disney World, man. And you know, like with my music is always going to be about the sacrifices that people make to feel free. I know a lot of people see these 2 Ps and it does mean a lot of different things. But this shit is about purchasing power, man. This shit is about putting yourself in position where you could free yourself from all of this bullshit. And whatever it is that you're doing, keeping yourself in the lane where you realizing that all this other shit that you sacrificing and doing to get this money is temporary. You gotta stay focused and know, like, it's not even about the money. This shit is about being free. During the time that I was recording this project, my entire crib burned down. Everything that I own turned to ashes, man. You know, everything that I possibly could save only fit in a pillowcase. But for some odd reason, that fire made me feel free. And by losing all of these materialistic things, man, I had to be present in the moment and realize I still got more than a lot of motherfuckers. By doing that, I was able to manifest a lot of great situations. But you know, me, I end up in a cathedral in the sky, overlooking the city, really in a position to free my mind. And that's what I want this shit to be for a motherfucker that listen to this, man. Being in New York City, you don't really get to see the motherfuckers that's way up looking down on you. So to be in a position where I could be way up and still not be looking down, that's what this shit really about, man. The cathedral in the sky, 2025.
That shit ain't no average. My bitch so in pocket, I ain't have a dollar. I put that bitch down and took off like a rocket. My bitch so in pocket, she cut off her whole friends. They got mad as fuck and they made me the topic. My bitch so in pocket, I walk in the room and that shit on the dresser, I ain't have to pop it. My bitch so in pocket. My bitch so in pocket. Who loaded up that gas right now? Who let that gas on right now? Ain't no gas, ain't no gas. That's me, right? What? Put it in the air, man. No, I'm going overboard. She told me, boy, you're something special. You know you are. She thinks she like me.
3-0.
I'm kind of grimy and I'm not the type to open doors. Big shit, I'm popping big shit. I ain't like no
3 kill switch.
don't get certificates. She should come off easy. We've been doing this since little kids. The east side tripping, man. These niggas don't want to deal with this. What I do? Who else here? You wrote that?
Tell your story. Tell your story while you walking.
I have Pimp Hop right here, right here, right here. I have Pimp Hop in every one of these rooms. I could just fuck around and knock on any door, you know what I mean, and fuck with my Pimp Hop. Any one of these rooms, I could just knock in and I could come in, you know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm back.
Fast, easy, strong. Hexacore panels do more for builds.
Exacor has the industry abandoning gypsum underlayment for less mess and less trades on site. Fast, easy, strong. Exacor panels do more for builds.
For over 85 years, Pape's #1 job has been keeping the supply chain of the West moving with end-to-end solutions for the business challenges you face along the way. When there's a job to be done, the work doesn't wait for anyone. That's why Pape offers maintenance, parts, equipment, and on-demand service to maximize uptime. Because the work doesn't wait.
I'll be right
You
back.
can't either. No matter the challenges you face, Pape will be here to keep you moving. Pape.
I will maintain the confidence and preserve inviolate secrets of my client.
The FBI wouldn't come after you if they didn't think they'd get to you. Now, what do you think made them think that?
I have no idea.
I know you'll do your best to protect the firm.
Watch free, only on Fossum.
Over the years, Ray has broken out of 14 of these institutions.
What? I suppose you're going to tell me how you did it.
No, I am.
Well, let's start from the top.
Watch free, only on Fossum.
When I grow up, I'm going to fly the fastest planes ever built and be the richest man in the world.
Watch free, only on Fossum. Watch free, only on Fossum.
Unforgettable.
Bang on, hey, JuiceLee the Pimp out here, JuiceLee the Pimp out here. They opening the door, man. This is my spot, man. When I say I done made $1 million off this here shit, man. When I made $1 million off the track, man, I ain't making up no lies. I'm not just gassing. You mean I done made $1 million off the game before I was motherfucking 24. Right here on this Elko Boulevard, man. Paying for $50 rooms, man. Stacking up all that shit, man. For real. For real, man. Wasn't nobody. I made this shit doable for niggas, man. When they see me do it, man, I made this shit possible, man. When they see me come up from nothing, man, they come up from the top, man, starting off at a Roach Motel, you know what I mean? Going to the motherfucker, and now I'm over here at the Hiltons and shit, you know what I mean? I'm over here at the Marriott, you know what I mean? And that's just 3-star hotels. When they see me make that development, motherfuckers, they was rooted. Man, when they see me come from being a little shitty and I ain't got no breadsticks to knocking my first bitch to, you know what I mean? Not just knocking my first bitch, get on the track. And then back in the day, I'm telling my bitch, man, if you gonna shut the fuck up, man, bitch, you ain't going on the internet, you going on the track. Around that time, Craigslist started getting popping and shit like that, you know what I mean? And that's when the internet pimping started getting cracking. But at first, it wasn't none of that, man. You had to sit that bitch down on the track and let everybody get at that bitch. Wasn't no hiding no bitch. Wasn't no fake pictures. Wasn't no fake numbers. You know what I mean? You had to set that bitch. You had to have enough game. Have that bitch stand on the corner for everybody at school to see the bitch, for mama, aunties, and uncles to see the bitch. That's how you do the bitch really for you. These hoes nowadays, man, you don't know who they for. You had to get that bitch action like a war movie, man. Like everybody get at that bitch. Let her get swept by some pimps. Let her get swept by the police. You know what I mean? Let her get chased by her uncles. You feel me? Because it wasn't no hiding on the net. You had to sit that bitch down right there, though, man. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm telling you some shit that dang, man.
The Snapchat famous Los Angeles prostitute known as Pretty Ho on social media has been charged with sex trafficking. Federal prosecutors said Melanie Danae Williams was charged Tuesday with trafficking minors for sex and using force or fraud to coerce an adult into prostitution. Williams allegedly ordered a hooker she recruited through social media to strip before throwing bleach on her and beating her with a broomstick. She's being held in custody and will face up to life in prison if convicted.
something nicer, bitch. I just want the money, bitch. I can do something with that ice cream, bitch. All I want is the dough, bitch. I just want the dough. Bitch, bring me back the dough. Look down, bitch. I can't spell it. You can't read it. Look down, turn around. Bitch, kick and spin. Bitch, I don't care what you do. Just give me the dough. It's a regular combination, bitch. Look down when you talk to me. If she dead or alive, I still want the pussy and the money. Pimp P for the upgrade, bitch. You see the haircut. I got the footage from up top at the top VIP section, looking down at you. You got a cool clip? Bro, stop playing with me, Danza. Look, bro. Listen, look, okay, look, hold on. We on everything XL. Look, we on everything XL. This is Anthony Danza from Seattle. This is my brother right here. This is my boy. Look, he really, he way colder than I am. I'm trying to catch up.
It ain't none of that.
Look, it ain't none of that. It ain't nothing. But he look. Listen, I'm telling you, he really make pimp music, hustle music, pimp music. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, man. Somebody said some real disrespectful shit in there, man. I'm really out here working. I don't know about these niggas. I'm a young nigga really out here working though, like really standing on that shit though. So
for sure.
Come on, man. It's a couple of players outside, man. It's not just 3. It's a couple of them outside, for real.
Couple of players outside. It ain't just 3, man. It's a couple of players outside, man.
I'm telling you, bro, for real. Stay tuned, man, because it ain't over yet.
Yeah, I seen there's a whole bunch of footage in here. I seen the Fuego and Friends show with Owe, Kill Switch. You got a lot in here.
Okay. Yeah. We pulled up.
We go to the fucking moon first, and then we gonna go to Mars next, and all that shit. Ain't nobody can fuck with us. Ain't nobody keeping up with us. We on some different shit.
See how blessed it is? Undisclosed location.
This is
Man, I was really fucking with the East Coast artists. We were talking about bro was talking about his his life and shit for a little bit.
Okay,
Had him
Pastor
in the
Pills.
Yeah, Pastor Pills.
That's the one I had a song with earlier.
Okay,
I'll let you listen to it. It's actually in Pastor Pills. Myself, my East Coast partners. That's out Pastor Pills. Shouts out to Young X. We doing this greatest hits.
No, for sure.
This is Pimp Hop. It's the introduction to Pimp Hop. You ain't never heard of Pimp Hop. You know what I mean? You might listen to drill. You might listen to trap music. You know what I mean? Here's a new subgenre. You know what I mean? Called Pimp Hop, man. And we booming in the motherfuckers, man. So everybody got big chains on and shit, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All the
Everybody
hip-hop
shining,
rappers
man.
got big chains on and shit, man. You know what I mean? Everybody looking good.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16 niggas outside that heard what you said. So I'm gonna see you.
I thought that shit was big cool when you was interviewing Baby on Fig and shit. And you was asking her who
On Jesus channel, we was really on Fig, so we was right there on the swing thing, yada, feel me? We had 20 hoes across the street from us standing, working.
This was a gig I got.
Told them bitches, Pimpville U.S.A. out here. He's filming.
I want everybody to make sure.
Hoes got the raising hands and shit for the JuiceLee nigga, man. Had them old hoes, had them bitches more out of pocket than a quarterback sneak to get on this Pimpville U.S.A. Hey, they was ready to, they was gonna take that ass whooping from their folks that night. They said,
yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. She said, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get hit by my folks tonight. I need to go talk to JuiceLee real quick.
I gotta holler at Pimpville U.S.A. He out here, nigga. Stop lying. That nigga really out here. A lot of niggas be yada, feel me, chopping they, you know what I mean, giblets. Man, JuiceLee really out here, man. You gonna bump into the Legion, boys. You understand me?
Y'all know how you niggas started off, man. You niggas might start off at the hotel. You niggas might start off at the Marriott. You niggas might start off with the Quinta. I'll start off from the bottom, man. Yeah, man. So I might be a little cut, a little different, man. So I didn't have no choice, man. I had to get it, man. I had to get me some motherfucking bread sticks about this year shit, man. Yeah, let me rain, man. Down about with the bitch, man. Yeah, ain't coming home, man. Yeah, I got my home, man. Right here in this lava tea, man. $55 a day, man. Yeah, that's what I motherfucking had, man. Just gang, that's all I had, man. I ain't had no 5 year or nothing, man. Yeah, I've been in foster home from 1 to 19, man. Yeah, man, I don't even know. All the time I met my grandparents was at a funeral, man. Yeah, man, this is my family right here, man. The pimps and hoes that sat right here, man. That was my family, man. You know what I mean? I treat my nephews and shit, you know what I mean? I treated them like my kids, man. So I didn't have no cousins. I didn't have no aunties, you know what I mean? The only thing I had was nieces and nephews, man. And I had to make a sacrifice to make sure they have it all, man. And I started right here, man.
You motherfucker dancing,
man. What it takes, man. Yeah, man, you gotta suck this shit on up, man. For real, man. Top rubber one day, chicken on favor the next, man. Yeah, man. You ever been in that Roach Motel, man? Where motherfucking roaches crawling on the walls and shit like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, bitch dropping their drawers, man. Doing motherfucking dates, making this shit great. Niggas ain't been through this shit, man. For real, man. You niggas is playing, man. You niggas don't know what the fuck some real pimping I'm been through, man. The fuck you done been through? What the fuck you done did, man? Yeah, man. Yeah, for real, man. This shit is real.
Pimp.
Nah, that right there, man, for sure.
Yeah, it's Pimpville
Because
U.S.A.
your
man.
bitch couldn't work if I didn't approve of it. So I'm hopping out the bitch. I sweat the bitch all goddamn day. She
It's
ain't
my
gonna get
greatest
no dates.
hits.
I'm not
Nah,
sweating the
for sure,
bitch
Pete.
just to
I
knock
see
me.
you.
I'm trying to knock her off too. At the same time, making sure that no tricks. She can't get a date. Cause I'm over here chasing her all goddamn. I'm behind her, and the tricks is just driving by. Now my bitch is getting all the dates. You feel me? That's why you sweat a bitch. You're not just sweating the bitch to knock the hoe off. No, you over here working. You sweating this bitch where your bitch can get all the dates. So I'm sweating this bitch, making sure that, you know what I mean, these tricks ain't motherfucking I'm putting over for this bitch. I need my bitch to get all the motherfucking dates. So I'm hounding the bitch. I'm up there, the chick's just driving right by. She missing money like a motherfucker. Call your pimp, bitch. Yeah, let them know who out here, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Put him on the phone right now, man. Yeah. Just need a pimp out here, man. Yeah, let me holler at the nigga. He had to come meet up with me and introduce himself. Too many niggas wasn't gonna do that to young JuiceLee, Mac Jones around that time. They'll pick their bitch up and get the fuck up out of here. You understand me? I ain't gonna let your bitch make no money around here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sweat on to my pimp partner sweater. She's not gonna make no money. Because every time a trick drive by, it's gonna be 2-3 pimps out on the bitch. It's gonna be a motherfucking pimp chasing her. And we doing that not just to knock the bitch before our bitch can get all the money. Shells cut on my bitch.
Yeah, man, we gonna let it wrap it up, man. That was the greatest
Okay.
hits. They gonna have to tune in. They gonna
Yeah.
have to
Nah,
tune
we
in,
don't want to show
man.
them too much for the free. Yeah, I feel you though. For
Shit, you
sure.
know what I mean? They gotta borrow that good shit, man. You understand me? And you know, we just doing our greatest hits, man. You know what I mean? I'm out here editing part 3 coming out, you know what I mean? In a couple 3 weeks. Part 4 coming out for, you know what I mean, summertime. We got part 3 and 4 coming out next. Doing our greatest hits, you know what I mean? They invited me to the Players Ball this year, down one. Yeah, I'm also about to be filming Fillmore Slim. That nigga was pimping for like 77 years. He turned like 96 or something, 91, some crazy shit. I'm
Yeah.
about to document that. You know what I mean? He's a very legendary player. You know what I mean? For the next,
Definitely
that's like
legendary.
all together, it's gonna be like 10. You know what I mean? Episodes, and then we
Okay.
wrapping that series up, and we're going into I got some shit called Girls Gone Boxing. You know what I mean? Well, you know, with the bitches and shit that we doing. You know what I mean? So we doing that next after we wrap up Pimpville USA. So we just keeping this shit
So it's like
going, having
the
fun.
Barbies like squabbling.
Girls Gone Boxing.
Oh, okay.
So it's gonna be bitches squabbling up. You know what I mean? Damn near butt naked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Doing
saying.
their
Like the
greatest
Barbies
hits.
squabbling up. Like that's all I
Yeah,
said.
yeah. Squabble up. Squabble up. Yeah, gonna squabble up is about to go down. Girls going boxing. So that's next
Okay.
after Pimpville USA. So
And
we
that one's gonna
working.
be on Postum too.
That's gonna be everywhere too. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're gonna be doing our greatest hits.
For Shelly P. All right. Appreciate you for your time, bro, and gracing us with your presence on the platform. And it was a
Man.
pleasure, man. It's a pleasure.
Hey man, you was a gentleman and a scholar, man. We doing our greatest hits, man. Tune in. We just getting started. It's really just a warm up, man. You know, so we gonna tap in. You know what I mean? And, you know, and a nigga gonna be, you know, a billion times. You know what I mean? Up from
Mm-hmm.
here, it just keeps getting
Definitely.
better and better and better. You gonna see the elevation. You know what I mean? Ride with me. You know what I mean? I'm riding with you. Let's do our greatest hits.
No, for Shelly, man. Yep. All right.
All right.
All right. Peace out, bro. And we out of here, man. Y'all have